committed suicide. I don't really care for what you claim is wrong or right. That feeling too intelligent to take a stand and fight.
Yeah, this commentary is very obvious and bland, but you can tell how smart I am from my British accent.
Me, an intellectual, picking the lowest fruit.
Candid.
Just to prove how smart I am, though all my points are moot.
Faggot.
Look at me, so rational, a skeptic of the times.
Wow.
Let's debate feminism a few more hundred times.
Hey, guys, did you see that blue-haired SJW over there? What a freak, right? Hey, donate to my Patreon.
All I wanna do is keep you from moving forward. All I wanna do is keep you from moving forward.
Listen, just settle down for a second. Just check this out. I just posted the video. Okay, it's like a 3-hour talk session between me and 10 other people who pretty much share my exact opinion. It's hardly constructive whatsoever.
Me, an intellectual, so similar to you. Only true enlightenment comes from avoiding truth. What is a conclusion? I've never heard that term. Ideology takes spine, but I'm just a worm. Me, an intellectual, just listen to my voice. Can't you tell I am so right when I don't make a choice? Me, an intellectual, I never pick a side. Nothing ever really would change if I committed suicide.
Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully my mic is working fine this time. I think it is. Anyway, so after yesterday's stream, by the way, this one's probably going to be a short one, because just want to give a little update on a couple of things, a few actors at play. Sargon, I called it. I freaking called it. I had a feeling Sargon might be tuning into this, and that he might be watching. Now, I can speculate that maybe it has to do with me and Sargon having had some very public disagreements in the past. Perhaps something along those lines. At one point, I know he was subscribed to this channel, believe it or not. But honestly, the reason I was able to make that call is because the guy just makes so many mistakes. His ego always gets the better of him. Like, he could have just ignored the entire thing, but nope, he decided to leave a comment. I figured I'd highlight that. And a couple of other comments as well, because I thought they were also interesting. And I'll get to why that is in a moment. Alright, so let's see what he had to say. Maybe it'll be something enlightening. Alright, here it is. The top candidate of UKIP. Let's get to that right now. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Dude, Christ, all ego bullshit on the internet is a joke, and I said successful, not great. Jeez, chill out. I mean, wow. And if there's any doubt, like, oh, how do we know this guy isn't just a troll or something along those lines? Well, right here, it's a verified check mark, and we can just go to his channel.
There is no
Yep, this is him. He actually took the time of day to actually respond to a nobody stream that only gets maybe 5 viewers a night. Yeah. And he's saying that all the ego bullshit on the internet it's just a joke, guys. Like, you're taking it way too seriously. Like, I don't have to. How dare you criticize me over the dumb shit I do, and it ends up getting mocked in the media once I go public with all this stuff. And we see the Ghost of Varelo here. He actually responded with, Kelly called it. You can't help yourself but show up whenever your name is mentioned. He called just like how I called you be a comment. Burned. Ouch. So yeah. like the guy, like the phrase "fragile ego" comes to mind. It's one that I believe like the tranny that he had a stream with said about him on multiple occasions. The one with the white niggers comment, and might actually play a couple more clips of him like having moments like these where he could just let it roll off his back, but instead he just decides to spurg out. But before we get into that, I want to get into a couple of comments because I think that's something that Mediker said way back in the day before he was actually famous, when he was still doing like dunking on DeviantArt faggots who were like false DMCA videos. I forget the Spax or something like that. I forget the guy's name. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he put it best. You can't just go after the guy who's in charge. You have to go after the people that follow him around. And the people who follow Sargon around are appropriately titled Sargonites because they don't really have. Because for one thing, it reminds people of the term sodomite, which figures as they're usually all faggots. And more importantly, they all religiously follow his ideology. If Sargon says something, they believe it's gospel. And they applaud everyone in his network as heroes of some sort or variety. So, let's go to this one right here, which I'll read out. This is from Danko. I cannot pronounce this name. This might be a real name, might be... I don't know, we'll just call him Danko. A guy who cries criticizes a guy who was unfairly risked for his life in prison. Really? And Trump definitely, with all his faults, isn't as bad as you portray him to be. He definitely isn't stupid, and with the negative did also positive stuff for the country. You criticize other YouTubers for not really doing the news, but just commentary from the mainstream news. Yet you do the same. I'm presuming he meant the same here. Though it's funny he edited it and he didn't catch this error at the end here. Whoops. Maybe he just didn't care, but whatever. So actually, this one might not actually be a Sargon. I mean, if it's judge this guy, but he is definitely upset that I called out Tommy Robinson for being the e-grifter that he is. Well, I didn't use that term, someone else did, but nonetheless, yeah, no, Robinson's a faggot. Like, I don't know how else I can explain this to you guys. The guy wasn't arrested for like a freedom of speech issue. He was arrested for doing this. Let me just pull it up. Here we go.
Morning. Doing great. Who might you be?
I'm the prosecutor,
What's your name?
Rebecca McGuire.
Rebecca McGuire, great. And who are you?
I'm just the clerk from across the hall.
Okay, are you Amy Alvarado?
Yes,
Amy, did you send me this letter?
I did.
Okay, who instructed you to send me a letter?
The judge?
Okay, is this an arraignment letter?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, sign your name right here.
Where's the judge?
Across the hall, probably?
Okay, can you get him?
Talk to me today.
Yeah, you'd have talked to her.
Okay, am I?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Are you recording?
Okay.
If you are, put the phone down here.
okay.
Put the phone down here.
Are you recording?
No, I'm not.
Yes.
Can you please record?
No,
Okay.
we don't record in this court.
Well,
I
is-
don't record in this
Is,
court.
is the judge here?
Put the phone
Is-
down.
is
The
it-
judge has said that there will be no recordings in this court.
Is there,
Put the phone down, turn it off.
is there a court order?
From the judge.
Okay.
He is the
Can I see
judge
the
of this
order?
court.
Okay.
You don't need to see it. I'm telling you that he said it.
Okay.
Yeah, wait right here
Well,
1 second.
if there's not an order, then you're enforcing something that was just said, you're making it up. I mean, I'd like to see the court order.
If you're recording, you need to leave the courtroom.
That's it.
Listen.
You're recording, you're out of here.
Did I say I was recording?
Yes, you did.
No, I asked you if there was a court order, that's all.
You didn't deny that you're recording.
I didn't admit to it either.
Are you recording?
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters.
Okay, why is
It
that?
matters because the judge said there's no recording in
Okay,
this
I'd like to see,
court.
I'm here to see the judge, I'd like to see the
You're
judge.
not here to see the judge, you're here to see the assistant
No,
DA.
no, I have a letter here saying an arraignment. The arraignment is from the judge. Amy, did you not say that the judge instructed you to send me this letter? This arraignment letter?
To speak to the assistant assistant DA, yes.
Okay, but there's nothing in the Code of Criminal Procedures that requires me to come speak to the DA. So,
No, that's your option.
No.
To come speak to the DA.
I'm not here to speak to the DA. I'm here.
Judge, would you like
Yes,
from the judge?
Sir, this is a court of no record. You're not allowed to record anything in this court.
no problem, Your Honor. I'll go ahead and
Turn it off.
I'll go ahead and turn it off.
All right, as you can see there, that's basically the crime that Tommy Robinson was committed for. And here's the thing. He was warned about this on a previous occasion where he was also arrested back a year before the arrest he made in 2018. And the judge had some very strong words about that. And just for context there, that wasn't the recording of Tommy Robinson. That was a sovereign citizen. Tommy was trying to film the jurors as they were going into the courtroom and publish it online because he had to promote more of his usual propaganda about Muslim pedophiles and how much of a dangerous thing is. Well, that's kind of obvious there, Tommy. Like, if people are part of a grooming gang where they're raping kids, then yeah, that's bad. We get it. This isn't some high-level, in-depth journalism getting the real scoop that the media won't share. This is him just trying to draw attention. And if he could get himself arrested while doing it, then yeah, of course he's going to go ahead and use it and say it's a free speech issue, when this is normal for court proceedings not to do shit like this. Like, it's absurd that this faggot here, wrong thing, here we go, would be like, I'm unfairly criticizing Tommy Robinson. Robinson's some kind of a hero, and he's done some good things, which, okay. Oh, no, his particular comment was that he is unfairly for risk for life in prison. No, he's not in the least. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The guy's had numerous assault charges. He's committed fraud. Like, again, this guy's a rap sheet a mile long. I don't get how this guy can... Well, actually, I do get how this guy can go ahead and sycophantly defend him. It's because a lot of these people who follow these e-celebs, they just blindly follow them. Like, they don't enjoy them for their content or whatever. They enjoy them because they think they're just like them, and they're standing up, rising up, and speaking truth to power, and standing up to the man. That's what it is. That's what all these comes down to. And as for his other comments about Trump, I mean, if you still support Trump still, I don't know what to say to you. Like, honestly, Trump's been a failure on everything. The one thing I would used to praise him for was his decisions for the Supreme Court, which, yeah, that was some success under his presidency. And sure, a few minor successes here and there have happened, sure. You could point that out if you want to make the pro-Trump case. I mean, like, maybe he is upset that I put him in the same category as Sargon, which maybe that was a little unfair, but honestly, they're completely comparable in my book. Again, both celebrities, although one's greater magnitude than the other. Someone brought up the tax reform bill. From what I heard about it, it wasn't that great. Like, it was pretty much 50-50. And the thing about that is, like, it was more of a mixed bag of some good and some bad. And again, that can be attributed to Trump's lack of leadership. If Trump was able to successfully lead the Republican Party with a coherent agenda that made sense instead of just going with whatever he does, then he'd be a much better president. Why does Sargon always respond to me? I think I broke the man way back in the day, and he just can't get over it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one of two things are happening now. One, Sargon is listening to the stream right now and using his entire willpower to not post something in the chat and make a fool of himself. Or two, one of his sycophants is doing it for him and is going to tell him about this, and he's going to do a response of some variety, which would be pretty funny. I mean, it was the same thing with Ralph. Ralph did some, like, when Ralph and Sargon first started going at it. Ralph said some minor things about him. He was, like, fact-checking Sargon's claims that he was part of UKIP, etc. And, like, I hate to, like, I don't know. But anyway. But, well, I totally predict that one of those two things might be happening now. All right, so what other comments? What other big brain comments we have? And there's some good ones in here too. Don't get me wrong, but like I just want to focus these because they're just really dumb. And the other one I wanted to focus on here, just get rid of this technical error there. Click something I shouldn't have. All right, news first. There we go. Now this one is a true Sargonite. Like the last one I may have misidentified. Maybe the guy, like Sargon, maybe didn't really comment on him on that part. But he was definitely a sycophant to Tommy Robinson and Trump. Let me read off this guy's comment. If you bother to scratch the surface with Benjamin, you would realize that he is all about freedom of speech and satire. He gets flack on a daily basis from the alt and far right. But you wouldn't know, my lovely. You're too busy melting and wallowing in your fake victimhood. P.S. Jealous much of his success? He grosses £10,000 per month on social media, something I'm sure you can only dream of. I've given you a like as I felt sorry for you. Okay, firstly, Cupcake. Freedom of speech and satire, those are like the easiest things you could possibly do. Just say everything you're doing is sarcastic, and bam, you'll instantly give yourself a boost. Secondly, like the whole thing about my freedom of speech, like that's even easier. It's the most polemic thing you can do because, hey, why are you talking about satanic baby eating? Well, it's because it's my freedom of speech. Why are you going ahead and talking about burning down buildings and rioting in the streets? Well, because freedom of speech, I can do that. Why are you talking about not raping MPs? Oh, it's my freedom of speech. It's satire, brah. You don't get my high-level intellectual passion for this. It's just the guy. This is the caliber of the fan that Sargon deals with. And as far as getting flack, I'm aware he gets a lot of flack from the alt and far right. And I mean, what does that matter? Like, he gets flack from pretty much anyone of any political side, and even people who are normally not interested in politics. Because he's just that much of a spurg that people can't help but comment him and make fun of him here and there. But you wouldn't know, my lovely. You're too busy melting while your fake victimhood. Yeah, okay, sure. And as far as him being successful these days, last I checked, he was struggling because he got his Patreon removed. All of his Twitter accounts have been completely banned and removed. And where is he? Like on Minds, on Gab? And he has his YouTube channel. Woohoo. Oh, and that, of course, is getting hit by, isn't that still being demonetized by the Adpocalypse? So, no, I have nothing to be jealous of this man for. I don't want his money or success at all. It's just, what are you on about? But, in any event, and I think Keith Richardson says it puts it best in the chat, but they are saving the West. Yeah, that's the thing they always go to. I mean, speaking of which, I think that segues nicely into the next part. Just got to pull up a couple of videos real quick. Give me a moment. All right, so there's an individual by the name of Styxhexenhammer who's basically Sargon, but a Satanist, so I guess maybe basically Sargon. He's a lot thinner than Sargon, I guess, as well. He finally learned to wear a shirt. But yeah, Styx is basically a libertarian who's interested in saving the West. And he legitimately believes that this is something he needs to do. Metal Crow wants to correct me that Styx isn't a Satanist anymore. I guess he has all those books on, New Age spirituality and all those occult symbols he wears. It's all ironic, guys. Just don't think about it. I mean, I know that he likes to sacrifice goats on the middle of the moon, and he likes to turn to a werewolf every once in a while. But that's ironic, all right? All right, the guy's no longer a Satanist. He's reformed now. He's changed. Don't think about it, Goyim. Just he's a good guy. You should totally give him money. He's not using that to fund his satanic sex orgies, I'm sure. Okay. Oh yeah, he did. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about that. If someone can find it, because I don't know if this exists or not, but this needs to be found and archived somewhere. It needs to be put, there was a time, I remember, where Styx said he was running for office. And of all people to actually call him out on it, was Tonkasaw. Tonkasaw grilled him on it, and apparently he grilled him on it so badly that right after that, he announced that he was no longer running for office. Specifically to be the governor of Vermont or New Hampshire. I forget which one. Yeah, Vermont. Thank you. And And it was Tonka, so I told him to put him in, to tell him that realistically, that's not feasible. The guy who makes a career over being a fake MMA or fighter, a real tough guy who can't even show up to a fight that he called for. Yeah, that guy schooled you. Like, that should have been the end of Styx. Like, really. I mean, then again, Tonka had a lot of respect back then, but undeserved respect, but nonetheless. All right, so let me see if I can find the video, because this was pretty funny to me, and it needs to be Oh, apparently I'm already late to the party. Give me a moment. Let me just find it. We may have to play a couple of videos here. All right, so let me get this real quick. All right, I'm gonna have this one over here, put over there, and then I'll get the one ready. Yeah, so the thing about Styx right now is that he can't afford a laptop. He just can't do it, guys. He needs your money. And he's sad about it. He hates to do this. This is something that he'd prefer not to do. And oh great. Okay, so it seems he removed the video. I wonder why. Let me see if I can find it. All right, we're going to do a dig. All right, let's just do a live dig on this then, rather than just trying to have this all in the background so you can see what's up. All right, so here's the crowdfunding video I was going to play. Apparently, it's already been successful, so it doesn't need the video up anymore. It's unavailable. Let me see if we look in videos. Maybe we'll find it that way. All right, Kiwi Farms may have actually saved it. I guess used for some things. And nope, that's... All right, here we go. Let's play it.
All right, everyone, it's Styxhexenhammer here again. As some of you may have seen on Twitter, my laptop is busted. That is, the Alienware I normally use to record things is fucked up. I dropped it, and it managed to land on some small object like a rock or something I didn't see exactly, and it basically has fucked it. I won't even turn on now, so it's done for. I'm going to have to pay to have all the shit moved off of it, though, because other than the completed work files and the video backup and stuff, a lot of my shit I hadn't backed up in the last couple of weeks. So I have like active work files that are done, but they need to be finished for Amazon. I've got music that I need to do. I've got video ideas. My video folder that has all of the pre-written descriptions and everything, I'd have to remake that too. So there's a link in the description to a GoFundMe page, and I'm not raising the full amount that I'm going to have to pay because I do have some of my own money. The thing is, I'd pay for the new laptop on my own. The problem is that it's right after tax time. The other problem is I've been helping several other people financially, which means that I don't really have any discretionary spending at the moment. I wasn't expecting to have to buy a fucking, you know, whatever, $2,000 some odd dollar laptop to replace one that I...
Okay, so to pause that right there, because that was some serious bullshit. Okay, so he's a retard and breaks his laptop by dropping it on a rock or something like that. The laptop that he needs to go ahead and, you know, make his YouTube videos. Like the one you see before you. He needs that money, guys. He needs them. He needs to get those shekels in, and he needs to make videos like this. So that way he can show his views on saving the West and other important shit like that. Like, just the usual. And what's the issue? Why can't he use his own money? Which is something he brings up, and which everyone goes like, yeah, why aren't you just using your own money? Apparently, he's got to pay those pesky taxes, and he's also got to go ahead and support other people. So this guy can't budget his funds properly. Like, he's giving it away to people that are desperately in need, and he did it to a point where he can't actually pay for his own freaking laptop. He's just too poor, guys. I don't believe any of this for a second, to be honest. I don't think that this is actually what's going on. But let's just, for sake, let's just assume he's not lying. If he's not lying, he can't possibly be, he's an idiot who can't manage his money properly. And if he's so much in debt because of taxes, he can't even do basic budgeting well. In fact, if he can make a video like this on the fly with his phone, then he can surely just make enough money to go ahead, save the funds for a laptop. It doesn't have to be a great Alienware laptop like he's asking for. And then just go ahead and do it that way. All right, so I'm going to continue playing this.
Stupidly dropped while trying to record music. So yeah, I would appreciate everyone's help. And I'm not going to try to put anybody out. If you can't donate, that's fine. I'm not going to feel bad about it. People help me enough as is. And it's not even a money problem, it's a time problem. It's like I'd have to take 2 weeks basically off from doing anything, and I'd be fucking going stir crazy at that point. The problem is this. The real problem is the laptop that I do have to use.
Wait, let's rewind that a bit. I want to hear that just to be sure.
Crazy at that point. The problem is this. The real problem. I'd have to take 2 weeks basically off from doing anything, and I'd be fucking going stir crazy at that point. The problem is this. Music. So yeah, I would appreciate everyone's help. And I'm not going to try to put anybody out. If you can't donate, that's fine. I'm not going to feel bad about it. People help me enough as is. And it's not even a money problem, it's a time problem. It's like I'd have to take 2 weeks basically off from doing anything, and I'd be fucking going stir crazy at that point. The problem is.
Okay, all right. So let's recap that statement, because whoa, I mean this is the issue with these YouTubers. Like, his whole problem is he'd have to wait 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks, going stir crazy because he can't make YouTube videos. He can't take a little vacation for himself and just do something else, like maybe write scripts for other videos if he's that married to his quote unquote job, or I don't know, go on some demonic to retreat over in some forbidden underground sanctum, or whatever he does, wherever he's totally not doing his not Satanist ways. Maybe he there's plenty of stuff he could do without losing his mind. Does he have is he just autistic? Is that it? Is it he can't really, if he doesn't have a certain fix of his entertainment, he just goes insane and eats little children? Maybe that explains the Satanist worship, or that he's totally not doing, guys. But yeah. And yeah, someone points out in the chat, taking 2 weeks off would probably fuck with this channel with the algorithm. Okay, well, just make more simple content like this video here. Like, problem solved. Like, the whole thing about exploiting your audience to get more money out of it, as though they're your personal bank. When they already fund you, they already give you money in T-shirts, super chats, Patreon donations, etc. That's just slimy. It's not something that audiences should tolerate. What they should be doing is saying, no, fuck you. We're not going to give you more money because you beg for it. You go ahead and you buy it yourself. That's what it should do. The money that they get should be for just, like, if they so choose to give it with this Patreon system, is for the content they make, not for their little life needs. Like, oh, I have a lawsuit. Oh, I need new clothes. My teeth are damaged. Shit like that. It's shameful. It's e-begging. Like, you should be self-made. You shouldn't have to rely on people over the internet for more funds. All right, let's finish the rest of this, or more of it. Might pause it again.
The real problem is the laptop that I do have to use, the older one, which ironically was crowdfunded on GoFundMe. The old one, it has some issues. It can't really record. Like, this is the only way that I'd be able to actually make videos. And I know this is the new generation of kids do the vertical video thing. I think it's preposterous. And yeah, I could just go get a smartphone or something, but I want something that can actually handle, like, I need to be able to use Audacity for my music. I need to be able to do my literature. I can't do that on a smartphone. At the very least, I'd need a tablet, and I think that a tablet's just a half-sized laptop anyway, a half-assed laptop, rather.
Oh, he's going to need a bigger laptop, guys. He can't just go with a half-assed laptop. He needs a full-assed laptop in order to make these quality videos, saving the West.
So yeah, I appreciate everyone's generosity. Link in the description to that. Again, if you wanted another thing you could do, like some people donate to me on other platforms, just put it on GoFundMe instead if you wanted. If you didn't want to, double up, which I can understand. Because, the quicker I get that in, then I can order the computer, and it's going to be beastly. I'm actually going to get another Alienware, like the one that I have, and if you look at the picture on there, you can see the great big ass dent, and it's just terrible. Managed to land on a pebble or something, I don't even know. It's sad, because I'm going to have to pay to have all those files moved, and it's going to take some time to even get it. Like, let's say the GoFundMe goes through in a single day, and I
can't take this acting. It's like, for one thing, I think he just changed his story from it fell on a rock to I dropped it on a pebble. Like, I think those are objects of significantly different sizes. The other thing is, it's like, oh, well, I'm going to need all this other extra money for this. Oh, it's such a shame being a YouTuber. It's the hardest job in the world. Veterans, they have it easy, man. They may have seen the harshest of wars, but YouTube days of saving the West, making videos, making sure, got to get out those memes every day, got to push out got to do the commentary, got to look at Reddit, rip stuff off from that have already been ripped off from Poll. Such a hard life. I got to give those milquetoast commentary. Oh, please, I can't. These thoughts there. Just put more money in my Patreon. Just please give me more funds. All right, it'll make me feel better.
Order it tonight. Even then, it's going to take several days for it to get here, although they were pretty fast last time. I think when someone's ordering like a gaming computer, Dell gets it out pretty quickly. So hopefully it won't be too long, that I'll have to record like this. I don't think I look as good either. Yeah, I would do the... Okay, that's a little bit better, but, then it's actually too widescreen. Yeah, you can see all the forest and stuff. I'm a little bit upset, I tend to cope with that by cracking jokes or being not quite serious. At least the garden looks good. I guess you can probably see that. This isn't, I'm not in my element at the moment, as you can tell. So yeah, I appreciate everyone's, generosity if you want to pitch in for something. People are sort of telling me to. My natural inclination is I don't really like doing that because I do have my own income. But, oh, it's 2 weeks after you give 20 grand to the federal government, your laptop breaks. Fuck you, The problem is that's how I make my money, is using my laptop. Every penny that I make is tied up in an Alienware laptop that I just shittily threw on the floor accidentally. I mean, I was trying...
he even goes over the whole thing like, oh, well, I really, really want to use my own money, guys, but paying taxes is hard, man. It's just such a hard life. I can't possibly ask for an extension or get a loan from a personal friend or just go to a bank about it or just spend half the money I need on a half-assed tablet or something like that or improvise with the tools I'm already using to make this video. I can't do the right thing this time, guys. I need your help. Send that money my way. Just please send it.
To be careful, but in the area I was going to record the music in, there's a lot of cords and shit around, and so I turned around and I didn't realize my foot was, on the power cord because I hadn't moved it to the side yet. Fucking pulled it right down off the desk. And that's sad because I'm in the mood. It's 70 degrees out and fine. I'm in the mood to sing and I can't even do that. Like, I can't hook up, modern software will not work with the laptop that I've got in there, which is how I'm connecting to like Twitter and shit. So that takes for...
Wait, I'm going to go over that story again. Something about that was fishy.
As you can tell. So yeah, I appreciate everyone's, generosity if you want to pitch in for something. People are sort of telling me to. My natural inclination is I don't really like doing that because I do have my own income. But, oh, it's 2 weeks after you give 20 grand to the federal government, your laptop breaks. Fuck you, The problem is that's how I make my money. That I make is tied up in an alien on the floor accidentally. Shittily threw on the floor. Shittily make is tied up in an Alienware laptop that I just shittily threw on the floor accidentally. I was trying to be careful, but
Okay, so he's saying it was a rock, it was a pebble, it was on the floor. Like, this guy has recounted the story like 3 different times, and he keeps changing details of it. Weird. It's almost like someone's not telling the truth there, buddy.
The area I was going to record the music in, there's a lot of cords and shit around, and so I turned around, and I didn't realize my foot was, on the power cord because I hadn't moved it to the side yet. Fucking pulled it right down.
Oh, I gotta read this big brain comment from the chat. It's from one of those guys who's totally not a member of the Plate Gang, even though he hangs out with them and does ops with them. It's called Styxhexenhammer666. He also seems to be orbiting around COG in his Discord server. And he says, who cares if his viewers pay for his new laptop? I thought the Plate Gang didn't like pay piggies. I thought they thought that that pay piggies were retards who deserve to be bullied and made fun of. I figure this is kind of behavior that you think should stop. So, why are you asking such a dumbass question like, who cares? If you're not Plate Gang proper, the people that you certainly are totally not friends with definitely care. So why don't you go ask them, and then they can make fun of you for being such an idiot. All right, continue this video.
Down off the desk. And that's sad because I'm in the mood. It's 70 degrees out and fine. I'm in the mood to sing, and I can't even do that. Like, I can't hook up, modern software will not work with the laptop that I've got in there, which is how I'm connecting to, like, Twitter and shit. So that takes forever. It takes fucking 10 minutes to turn on. I mean, it's an old computer. It was really great at the time, but after a couple of years, it got a little bit on the slow side because I work it to death. That's why I need something with a solid state drive for boot. I might, but also I'll be putting in some of my own money. I don't know if I mentioned this. I'll be putting in some of my own money anyway into the computer as well. So I'm not trying to get a freebie here. It's just that.
Oh, I'm not getting a freebie, guys. Like, I'm putting in some of my own money. All right, that makes supplementing it with your funds okay. All right. And we got another big brain comment. I think pay pigs are retards, but they exist and forever will. So who cares if pay pigs do what they do? Well then, why are your friends fucking with people who are doing nothing wrong? That's the logical question that comes out from that. And yeah, that you should basically be asking them why they're fucking with people who are doing nothing wrong, according to you. You sound kind of bitter. I mean, okay, that's your opinion, but and they aren't my friends. Yeah, I know it triggers you when I say that, when I say they're your friends or that people have friends over the internet. But, it's a subjective term, so I don't know what to do about that, buddy. If you don't like it, well, maybe you should stop being bitter. Anyway.
I don't have the amount necessary to buy the whole thing. So yeah, if people want to help out, they can. Then there will be more spoon clanking. There will definitely be an unboxing. That's how I can give back. I'll do an unboxing video and, I don't know. I'm a little bit upset, as you.
Some great quality content there. 5 stars, an unboxing video. Glad you paid for my laptop. Yeah, that sounds real great.
You can probably tell. That's about all. Peace out.
All right, so let's go to the next one. He also did a follow-up video on that. So let's play that as well and see what he says. Like, oh my gosh. Why is this man such a faggot? How is this guy not mocked and laughed at every single day he's on YouTube? Like, this guy is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, makeup, and it's just, he's just such, like, is this a Sticks and Hammer video or is it an open to a porno? I don't know. Let's listen.
All right, everyone, it's time for a laptop update. Of course, technologically, my current setup, I'm literally using a mini laptop with only one USB port, so I can't use the external microphone. It's a little bit weird recording. I may just use the smartphone for a few days. Now, keep in mind, it is a bank holiday this weekend because of Easter and shit, so Easter Sunday is coming, and so it'll take a few days, but thanks to people's generosity, and it was far more than I anticipated, I will be able to get a new laptop and get it going, probably with expedited shipping and all of that. I'm going to get a 2-year accident plan because obviously I fucking need it. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, my other laptop got busted the other day.
Oh, okay, so now before he was begging desperately because it was his only option. He couldn't do anything else. But now magically, he has another laptop. And yeah, something, I don't know, guys, like, I'm thinking a little too hard about this. Something about this just doesn't make sense. It's almost like this is a con or something. Don't know.
I was freaking out, actually, when I was doing the GoFundMe, because I was asking for $1,800. The idea was that plus what I could put in immediately would get me essentially a clone of the computer I was already using, which is a damn good computer, Alienware 15. Instead, people went way past that, and I was trying to actually shut down the donations. The problem is I was trying to withdraw, which would have ended the campaign. And I tried to put it in, the info and stuff, and it was asking me for a phone number. The problem is I couldn't remember what phone number I had put in the account. This was like 6 years ago that I last used GoFundMe. And I hope I never have to, no offense to the site. They're public relations people were very speedy, so that's one up for them. It only took like 5 minutes for them to go through and get things done. But in that period of time, people donated like an extra $1,500 above what they had been at. And then I figured out, and then I withdrew it, and so it ended donations. But
Oh yeah, it's such an accident. It's such a burden. I accidentally took more money than I needed. I feel so ashamed by this. Seriously, I don't buy any of this at this point. I think he's full of shit.
Because of the sheer total, I don't even think I can build an Alienware 15 that actually eats up all of that expense. And so what I plan to do is, I think, since I need a lot of processing power for the shit that I do, I think I might upgrade actually to the Alienware, what's it called, the Area 51, which is their new flagship variety. And, I mean, you wouldn't believe the specs on the system that it particularly has. Definitely, though.
Okay, so it's not just a laptop he needs, or a really good Alienware laptop, but it's the best quality, top-of-the-line Alienware laptop with all the gons and whistles. This is just, honestly, this is disgusting. Like, he's drawing as much sympathy as he possibly can to trick his audience into giving him money for a device he doesn't need. He's conning them directly out of money. It's just amazing to me that people can get away with such fraud on a regular basis. And people continue to be tricked by this. All right, continuing.
Though, accident plan. I know better this time, and I'll probably get like a cheap laptop as a backup, something that I can sort
of... There's an excellent point here by Barry. There's a page on handling chargebacks, GoFundMe Help Center. He could charge back everyone as a real thank you. Yeah, frankly, if this were all just an accident, if this wasn't just a ploy to get some extra cash for, I don't know, maybe need some coke at those orgies, then maybe he could, he would have just done that. He would have just said, whoops, I fucked up, my bad, I was an idiot, here's all your money back. But no, that's not it. He's just stuck with some extra funds for like a super awesome laptop that totally wasn't planning on getting.
Sort of program, fine-tune, and just keep plugged in, just on the back burner, have all the programs that I need, because I don't want this to happen again. But yeah, I thank people for their generosity, though. I was kind of stressed and upset, rightfully so, I think, yesterday. Now I feel a lot better today, but I never anticipated quite that much of an outpouring of support, certainly not in like 2 fucking hours. So I do thank people for that. There will be an unboxing, and I'm going to try to give back, so to speak, any way that I can. So I'll make like extra material or something, something along those lines. Maybe I'll do like a video where I clank a spoon 4,000 times or something like that.
I feel really, as if I was donating to this and I realized that, shit, I just wasted a bunch of money giving it to this faggot wearing a dress, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? The spoon clanking video for 4 hours, yeah, really makes up for that.
I'll hook it up to a ceiling fan and it'll just clank a bunch of cups until it destroys them, or some crazy shit like that. Yeah, and again, I will try to probably do some smartphone-based videos. I'll just wander around outside, and so I'll do more garden updates or something. I'm going to try to keep up with the material, but the current setup, please do bear with me for at least like a week or so. This particular setup is very, very inefficient. It works, but it's not ideal. Like, I have to record on this computer, move the files to the other computer, which has an old, terrible layout keyboard, which I can barely type on. So it takes me twice as long. I'm going to fill out the tags and shit. But I am going to keep up with what I need to do. I was going to do some MRE videos. I think that at the moment is probably off the table, to tell the truth, unfortunately. So yeah, I thank everyone for their donations. Again, for those who were kind of disgruntled, I wouldn't have had to do that if it wasn't right after tax time. That's basically the law.
Oh, this guy is so full of shit. Like, this should be a controversy that his peers are talking about and saying, "What the fuck, Styx? Why did you rip all those people off?" Help, like, but no, it's just so common that it's just a blip on the radar. That's the sad thing about this. Like, and then you have people wondering, well, why do you care if they ask for money? It's because they do dumb shit like this. Like, people should be under the mentality not to give money to creators out of sympathy. They should be under the mentality of, hey, I'll give you money if you make good content. Like, if that's the system they want, if paid piggies are always going to exist, how about they actually reward people who make good shit and not people who just e-beg and don't make any shit worthwhile at all?
Long and short of it. Some people were saying, well, you can just take out, like, what was a payday loan or something like that. I'm like, yes, that would be very, very smart to do. In the age of deplatforming, you should run up thousands of dollars of debt when there are alternatives. That's very, very smart. I don't think that's a good idea. I just really don't, especially when, your main form of income happens to have been fucking smashed on the floor the other day. It's a little bit of a problem. Sometimes I don't think people realize how much I actually work. It's not just the videos that I make.
Oh, this line. You gotta love it when you hear that YouTube is hard work. I mean, most people, their jobs, they're either mentally or physically exhausting, but man, that real thing is just editing those videos together, putting the clips together, learning some basic software configurations. It's too much work. You gotta have that laptop fund at the go, especially around tax season. If you don't have it, then it's just gonna be the end of your career, man.
And the other files have to be pulled off of the old computer, and most of its parts are still probably totally usable. It's a good computer. It's just it doesn't work, which is sad because I've had some great times with it. I mean, fucking put on a playlist for hours while you're editing. I don't even know how many thousands of hours of work I've done probably on that computer. So it's definitely melancholy. Even getting a new computer, it's like, well, now I have to forge some new memories, but I'm going to get a damn good one, trust me. That's about all. Peace.
All right. This guy, fuck this guy. Honestly, I've had enough listening to him. I think you get the point with this one. All right, so what else? There was also one other thing I wanted to cover. Looks like the stream will be over in about an hour. It's how I want to wrap it up. I will throw it out there, since I've been throwing out the last few streams. If you want to come on the show, just hop into the server and join the Wildlands voice channel, and I'll drag you in if you want. But aside from that, let me just get something real quick. All right. Had an update on the Kick Vic story. Yeah, it seems that it's actually going to go through. I didn't expect it to get to this point, but it seems like Vic might actually get some payback against some of the people who have been accusing him. And it seems like I was wrong about that when I first talked about it. For one thing, there has been a law firm that's actually taken up the case, and they've actually said that, and they've actually decided, and they're a legit team of lawyers who have decided to take the money from the GoFundMe and to go ahead and sue the convention goers. Now, does that mean I support it? This thing, because it has this firm backing it up, and they seem serious about it. Because if they lose the case, like Nick Rekieta, I'm certain is doing this just for the shekels. Like, it's not this case where he's this super altruistic guy. The guy is making a shit ton of money off of this case and being this edgy, conservative lawyer guy on the internet. But nonetheless, I don't think that it doesn't seem like this is exactly the same case as the Honey Badgers, which I originally compared it to. Because for one thing, the Honey Badgers had no case, didn't have a real lawyer's opinion on this, and they hired a con man who just basically didn't even show up at the day of court. But why would I still say not support it? It's because it still goes back to the same thing. Because for one thing, just because they've taken the first step of action of filing a complaint to a judge as a first step in the process, it doesn't mean they won't back down a later point. That's the first thing. They might not have the wherewithal to continue going through the case. For example, if it turns out that the defamation claims and the interference with contracts is not as strong as they thought it was, they could just pull out just to save face, as an example, which would behoove them to do so their firm suffers minimum embarrassment. And the other thing is, it's like with these cases, they still the track record and the tendency still is they don't work. I mean, look at the James Damore case, which Granted, James Damore was a panhandler, and he was just doing it because he wanted to make an e-celeb career of himself. Forever, however brief that stint was, he had the Gulag shirts right up and rolling, ready to sell out right beforehand. And yeah, he filed the lawsuit as well, and it didn't go anywhere. However, I do have to say that as far as the lawsuits go, it's just, while this probably isn't the best idea to go through it, at this point, it doesn't seem like it's a scam. It seems like it's legit in the sense that they'll be putting the money to where they say they'll be going. But as far as the legitimacy of the case and as far as the details like that, I don't know. I'm not gonna put an endorsement on it because I don't think any of these celebrities should be getting money, using the public to just crowdfund their lawsuits. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it's a viable strategy, and at least I honestly don't think so. And honestly, I don't trust this Nick Rekieta guy. Sorry, I know a lot of people like him, but I mean, the way he acts, the way he interacts with these other people in these e-celeb circles, and the way he conducts himself, it just strikes me as another skeptifag. But yeah, but I should just put that update out there. Let me see if I can. I might actually go over the finer details of the lawsuit. Maybe this is a case. Maybe there's so that way. Actually, yeah. In a later stream, I'll go over more of the finer details of the case and examine it. I should also preface this that anything I say can be declared null and void because, well, not null and void, but the thing is, I'm not a lawyer, so you should take my opinion with a grain of salt when it comes to the legalese about this. But on the other hand, you have to also watch out what Nick Rekieta is saying, because what he likes to do, something I've noticed time and again, is whenever he says something that's a little bit more bold than usual, when it's not something that's like he's not dunking on some progressive who's an idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about, coming on there and challenging his opinion on his knowledge of the law, he always couches his statements with, well, I don't know about this, I don't know what to think about that, and he also adds little caveats like, oh, this is my speculation of what might happen, or this might happen. And as far as I'm aware, I don't see some of the people he said that would be likely to get a lawsuit, such as Mars Girl and Rooster's Teeth and others. At this time, they're not in the filings. There's only the Funimation voice acting company, which is the one that let him go off of certain projects, and some people associated with Funimation. So maybe there's a case. So this shows that they have a law firm backing them on those allegations of defamation and interfering with contracts. But as far as anything else goes, that still has a big question mark next to it, and there's not really much that can be determined about it. But in any event, even though I got some things wrong, like for example, Vic, for example, is not trying to become a next e-celeb. That was incorrect of me to say. He's actually just I would say he's a mini celebrity in his own right, just not a typical e-celeb faggot. He's actually done voice acting work, and from what I can tell, the guy seems mostly honest. As far as the allegations against him go, it seems to me, in my personal opinion, from what I can gather, Vic, like some of them seem to be somewhat there seems to be a lot of people claiming he's done some stuff, and Vic's apologized for some of it. But the more serious allegations, he's not said anything on. So, all right. Funimation will be dropped from the case. I'm not gonna say that because honestly, that might happen eventually. It might not. We don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. So. Again, this is a continuing story, so I'll keep an eye on it as I have been. But yeah, I did get a couple things wrong, so I figured I would also mention that. All right, so there doesn't appear to be anyone who wants to come on, and so that's all right. I prefer doing this on myself anyway. I'll read some of the comments in the chat that I missed, and then I'll close this out. All right, but I'll still leave the invitation to come on open anyway. All right. Always like listening to these on the replay. Happened to be around this time. Yeah, glad you feel that way. He could have, in regards to the sovereign citizen video I played, he could have made the video horizontal if he's going to break the law like that. Yeah. Taser him again in regards to sovereign citizen video. Hephatus asks, "What is this garbage show?" I don't know. You're tuning into it. Mrs. Sad Song says, "Oh." Moving on. Anti-Trump YouTube copyright attorney Leonard French did a bunch of sovereign citizen videos. Huh. All right, I'm gonna have to. Who is this guy? Let me look this guy up. Let's see, Leonard French. We'll put in sovereign citizen. I think I may have heard of him. I did watch a number of sovereign citizen videos a while back. All right, I'll look into that. We'll look into that guy. I'll look into that guy later. If he's interesting, I'll talk about him on a future show. Anyone else think of the Simon and I am bad, really bad at pronouncing names. How do you Garfunkel? What is this? What is this word? I am not familiar with the song, but I'll just read this anyway. Anyone else think of the Simon and Garfunkel song when Tommy's name comes to mind? Hello, Mrs. Robinson. Okay, that is a common reference, and I'm just not getting it. Why does Sargon always respond? I already address this one. Your mileage may vary in getting a refund. Well, apparently that's the case with a lot of these fundraisers. These e-slips are constantly peddling these days. Why is this live on my recommended? No idea. Show yourself, Sargon. I'm sure he will. Pure beta style comment regards to Sargon. Yep. Carl, aka Hard R off Patreon, candidly cares about his free speech. Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed about these guys. Like, when it comes to free speech issues, it's always going to be free speech for them and the people in their circles. It's never about the broader issues, like, things are a little bit more controversial. Like, for example, Sargon had to be pressured into talking about how the hate speech laws in Germany about Holocaust denial were ridiculous when they sent this grandmother to jail for questioning the 6 million figure, which I'm pretty sure that's 100% accurate. It can't just be a figure that was made up out of convenience because it can't be because a certain group of people like rounded numbers like that, and especially big ones. Nah, that's. I've had too much to think already. All right. Let's see. Styx lives with his mom. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. Might be. Going down. At least Styx tells you his political views. Yeah. I'll give him. Well, should I even give him that? I mean, he seems to have. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I can give him that because he, in his debate against Richard Spencer, which he did better than Sargon in that debate, that's for sure. But regardless, he identifies some kind of center-left libertarian type. And then a few weeks later, when he sees the blood sports thing going through, he shifts rightward. And it doesn't seem like. It seems like he's just another person, one of these grifters that just shifts from position to position based on convenience, not based on actual authenticity about the views. So I'm not sure if I can sign up on that one. Maybe if you know more than me, you could give me some examples of that. He can't. He gets his money from foreign countries. Oh yeah, that's the excuse he gave as to why he wasn't running for office. Which, no, that's bullshit. For a number of reasons. One, just because you have a private business that you have on the side, it doesn't mean you can't have money coming from that. And I'm pretty sure, legally speaking, he'd be in the clear if he got Patreon donations and had his political campaign completely separate from that. Kind kind of like how Trump was running his big billionaire empire that is international, that regularly receives foreign currency all the time, and was still able to get into office and be elected. So I don't think he'd have an issue with that. I think that was just an excuse because he bitched out. Styxhexenhammer, governor of Vermont. Shirts are now illegal. I added that last part, but I think that would be the end result. LOL, yeah, it lasted all 5 minutes. Shortest campaign ever. Great campaign. Brilliant. Made an announcement. A few days later, announces, recants said announcement. Brilliant political strategy on Styxhexenhammer's part. Tonka won again. Yep, 10 billion and 0. I think that we'll have to invent numbers in his name eventually for the number of wins he has. Is the YouTube channel Kronos Politics or the channel American Pride exist? I don't know what happened to Kronos' channel, but American Pride does still exist, and I believe he still has clips. He might be under the name American Pride 2. I'm not sure. I may have actually played a couple of clips on this channel before, but yeah, I know American Pride is still around, but I have not seen of Kronos in quite some time. He doesn't have any pills. How much does he make on Patreon? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I should show that. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can find Styx's Patreon. All right. Gonna check that real quick. Let's just look that up. All right. Let me show this on screen real quick. He's making close to $3,000 a month. That's enough. He certainly has enough to get a new laptop, or find some other means to about his predicament about breaking one on either dropping on a rock or a pebble or tripping over a wire and smashing it to the floor. There's no reason he has to be begging for dollars, especially when he has a backup laptop on top of everything else. So, all right. He deleted the video? Yep. Yeah, he did. Thank you, KF. I don't like KF on account of Kiwi Farms on account of Josh. A lot of the people in the community seem a bit co-opted in certain regards, but yeah, I do have to admit that sometimes Kiwi Farms are the autists that have the information archived. So yeah, sometimes I do have to say that the community does sometimes get results, even though I think that Josh is a pervert and that there is a lot of shenanigans going on in that place. He doesn't do any video editing. He doesn't need an Alienware. He doesn't need to pay a computer store to remove stuff either. It's $12 for a hard drive adapter. Yeah. Pays $20,000 in federal income taxes. Yeah, that's a good point. How much is... I don't think Styx is making that much money to pay the federal government $20K a year. That seems off to me. Fund me laptop, Goyim. I just paid my taxes. So I need you good goys to pay extra. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jesus Christ, buy a pop filter. I'm thinking about... I'll try to find ways to improve the audio quality. I know it's kind of... I think that the audio quality can be improved, and I'll look into that. Well, Chris Wallen, CPA, was on his channel. Who's Chris Wallen? Let me look that up. I'll look that up later. Or, yeah. Taking 2 weeks off would probably fuck up. Alright, read that. I wish I had 100,000 retards that would throw money at me every time I had dreamed up a lie. Yeah, that would be awfully convenient now, wouldn't it? Stop breathing into your mic. Outside of his standard videos, he is one hell of an awkward fucker. I think that even in his standard videos, he's an awkward fucker. So, half agree, half disagree. Apparently he has another computer. Yep, we showed that. Rock, pebble, throw on the floor. Nice garden, though. Maybe you should stick to gardening. He said he doesn't know. Maybe it was a rock, pebble. Yeah. I'm not defending it, but if people want to pay... it's not so much if people want to pay or not. If people are a fool and his money or soon part, it's true. But the attitude that people have towards this, it should be changed. They should stop being idiots. They should stop donating to it. So, yeah. All right, moving down. Are the Plate Gang Kelly's arch enemy now? Nah, they're not. Reason being that I've raked up so many enemies over the years. They don't even register as an enemy, as like an arch enemy or an enemy. They are pretty faggy though. Maybe looking down. Is that a Hawaiian shirt or a Japanese lady's kimono? Yeah, I think now you mention it, I think it does look more like a Japanese lady's kimono. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I butcher every foreign word up every time I open my mouth. Jesse Lee Pearson called him a beta last week. All right. He doesn't know what a USB hub is. There's a page on handling chargebacks. I read that one. So he does have a smartphone. He said in the last video he didn't. Ah, good catch there. Going down a bit. Nick Rekieta is another Cernovich. I don't know about that. I wouldn't put him in the same camp as Cernovich because Cernovich has just, I mean, Cernovich is an extra level of slime, even among Eastlips. He's like, Cernovich is on a Sargon level. Nick Rekieta is more on a, he's kind of, Nick Rekieta has on a very, very low level at this point as far as dumb shit he's done. So, James Damore, Candace Owens, Laura Loomer are opportunists. Completely agree with that. Damore was a really weird dude. Still is. Comicsgate / Ethan Van Schreier is real popular in V and Kotaku in action. Well, that figures. I mean, Ethan Van Schreier is doing the stupid Comicsgate thing, which has been for the most part, another dumb failure. Like, what does Comicsgate do? Oh, we're going to complain and whine and bitch about shit. Like, the only thing I can really say about Comicsgate is that some of them have actually okay. I will say this about Comicsgate: if they want if they want a bone thrown their way, I will say that if they're actually working to create comics instead of bitching that everything sucks, then yeah, good on them, and they better be good as well. They better not be exactly the same things they're accused of, and they better not be crap, because if they're going to be saying that, oh, well, comics is terrible for reasons, I don't care what those reasons are, and then they churn out their own work and it's worse or as bad as the others, then they're useless. So that's as much positive statements as I'll say about Comicsgate. Otherwise, the whole thing is just, I mean, just pick a different hobby, to be honest. I mean, when it comes to comics, I mean, there are some comics I like. It's true. I liked Watchmen, for example. That's a really good one. I used to read a lot of webcomics. Alan Moore's, what was it? Not Alan Moore. Wrong. Grant Morrison's The Killing Joke was also a good one. And I've read others as well. But I don't know. I mean, like, these days personally, and maybe it's unfair just like say to dismiss all of comics as a medium, but these days I'd rather just watch something, like I'd rather just, if it's an animation, I'd rather watch an animation or a movie or a show, or read a book or whatever, than flip through a comic book, which, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Anyway, moving down a bit. Alright, so there's just a few more to go through. Give me a moment, because I want to get all of them. Ethan seems like a major opportunist as well. His Space Frog comic is probably still late. Yeah, I have noticed that one thing I don't like about their comics creation is that they're using these Kickstarters and GoFundMes, etc. I'm not too keen on that. They're usually turn out to be scams and cons, and can't any of these people who are supposedly successful in their own fields ever use their own money? Like, why can't it come out that Ethan used all the money he made working for Marvel and DC? Wait, did he work for DC? I don't remember, but anyway, Ethan used all his money in the comics book industry to make his own comics. I don't know. Or he got loans from investors to make his own comics, rather than just using a GoFundMe campaign or whatever. All right. Okay, so just a few more. Okay, so Hephatus, he can correct me on the pronunciation of his name. He says he'll hop on, and I see him in the Discord. So, yeah, I'll let him on speak a bit. Leonard French is the lawful masses guy. He is a copyright attorney. All right. I will look into this Leonard French guy later. So, we're going to have a person come on, and I believe it to be a member of the Plate Gang. Maybe he can correct the record and straighten me out. So, let's have him on. You're on the air. Go.
It's Hephaestus.
Hephaestus. Okay. It sounds like asbestos.
It's a Greek god.
I understand that. Go on.
So, what? All right. So,
What's your issue?
I'm thinking about your issue with pay pigs, right?
Yeah.
I think being a pay pig is dumb, personally, but so all right. So I'm trying to look at something like a content creator, for example. Oh, hold on a second. God damn it.
Hello.
My apologies. My air compressor went off.
It happens. Go on.
So let's take somebody like Styx, right?
Like who? Styx?
Yeah. He's got his viewer base, and they fund him to do his work. They enjoy his work, and they're more than happy to pay for him to continue being able to do his work.
All right.
For example, funding his laptop. Whether the story seems shady or not, I haven't really looked into it much other than...
I mean, I play the videos on stream. I point out that he contradicts himself in multiple cases. The fact that
Well, he says he drops it on a rock or a pebble.
It's not just that.
And that he didn't have the funds liquid at the moment to do it.
Okay, so firstly, he changed the story not twice, but 3 times. It was a rock, a pebble, and then he tripped it over on a wire and it fell on the floor. That's clear contradictions in his narrative. And secondly,
he didn't say he tripped it over on a wire. And he said
say
he
that.
dropped it on the floor and it hit something.
I guess maybe he changed
Whether
it 4
it be a
times then.
rock or a pebble, I mean, that's pretty nitpicky.
I don't think it's nitpicky at all. The guy's asking for money. If he's not honest about it, he's a con and a fraud, and should be regarded as such.
Okay, his laptop broke. Right?
Do we
That's
even
what it
know
boils
that?
down
Did he
to.
even show the laptop?
I think he said he posted pictures of it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't
so-
know. I'm just using Styx as an example, right?
Well, it's not a good example if the guy lied.
All right, take somebody else. Who do you enjoy watching on YouTube?
That's good. We'll throw Jim out there. Why not?
All right. Do you have a problem with Jim being funded by people?
I mean, through his Patreon. The only issue
Or
I
his
have with
super
that.
chats?
No, I don't have a problem at all with super chats because you're getting what you pay for.
All right. So, say Jim needed a new computer and put a Patreon out there.
He has a Patreon.
I mean,
like
not a
fundraiser,
Patreon,
right?
some sort of fundraiser, yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I would have an issue with that.
Would you... what would be your issue with that?
My issue would be he would be doing the same thing these other YouTubers are doing, and he'd also be a hypocrite because he called out so many other people for doing the exact same thing.
Take what Jim has said out of the equation, right? You enjoy his content. Other people enjoy his content. If he needs a new laptop to continue producing said content, do you have an issue with people chipping in money to help make that happen?
My issue is he's basically exploiting his audience as his own personal piggy bank, where it's basically saying, okay, you got to pay me money because I make good content and this is my tip jar, so give me money. And then he's like, oh, well, also you got to pay my bills for personal reasons. Not because I provide any kind of content or entertainment, but just because I'm in need, I'm down on my luck. Please give me money. I'm just like you. I could be your older brother or your dad. And at that point, that'd be scummy.
Yeah, the sympathy card is bullshit. But
yeah, like using
so
sympathy.
if somebody said, hey, I can't keep producing this content, I won't be able to produce content for a month unless I get a new laptop. I don't have the cash to do it. So I'm going to put up a GoFundMe. Chip in if you want.
Yeah, I've got an issue with that. Like, I don't think that it should be like a tolerable thing that you're asking money for your personal expenses. Like, the mentality should be that this guy is just an entertainer and he can support himself.
All right, if he can't produce the content that you find entertaining, then why?
Okay,
I mean,
so
why
the
have
guy,
an
so
issue
the
with
guy can't
somebody
produce the content, and he just like makes a statement about it. I mean, like if someone wants to give him more money on Patreon because of that, like, I mean, I think they're naive, but like whatever. But there's a difference between that and setting up like these fundraisers that they do all the time, like constantly. I mean,
Well,
like you heard about the money.
let's take the laptop. Yeah, that's some shady shit. So let's take the laptop situation, right?
Okay.
This situation we're talking about. And to my understanding, Patreon, they pay you out like every couple months or something like that.
They pay you once a month.
Okay, so would a GoFundMe pay you immediately?
No, it's not the same thing because his patron's already giving him money on his Patreon monthly.
Well, I'm saying, would a GoFundMe pay you out immediately? Because that would make a difference.
It would depend on how much the guy's asking for and how quickly how much. And I don't know all the specific details of GoFundMe, but presumably, I believe it has to be funded, and then he can take the money out. So it would depend. So with that in mind, it would depend on how much before it reaches his funding goal can he use the money.
All right, so let's say Styx, take the story out of the equation. He puts up his GoFundMe. It's funded in 2 days. He has access to the cash there. Boom, he can buy the laptop. He can transfer his documents or whatever over. And then he can start producing the same level of quality entertainment for his viewers much sooner than he would if he had to wait for his Patreon money to come in. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, I see the point you're trying to make, but the problem is that for one thing, Styx changed his story multiple times, which means he's probably lying. Actually,
Well,
now flat out say he is lying.
Take the story
based on
out of the
evidence.
equation. You still have an issue with somebody putting up a GoFundMe for a laptop in order.
I
to
mean,
be
like,
able to continue
yeah,
producing
like,
content.
I mean, if you want to say that, like, oh, well, there's some situation or case where maybe a GoFundMe is justified. I mean, sure, we could spin our wheels and go up with hypotheticals all day, but in order for the specific example with Styx, you have to ignore all the context around it, and that seems like bullshit. So I don't get why you're getting on my case.
All right, the context is that he dropped his laptop on something.
No, it's not the entire context. I explained on stream, and I presume you were listening to it.
So what else is surrounding it?
Okay,
His
so
story.
for one thing,
I watched the video. He said he had to pay money for taxes, right? He doesn't have the cash, whether it's liquid or not, or if you got it. Who knows what the fuck the circumstances are around it? He doesn't have the cash to buy this laptop now.
Okay, so wait, we're just going to ignore the circumstances around it? Like, this is the exact
I don't know what his financial situation is.
Well, but that's the problem. You don't know. Like, why would you naively donate to something where, oh, well, he's probably conning me, but I think that, you know what, I want my content 2 weeks faster, and even though I'm already giving him money on Patreon, I'm just going to give him more money.
I mean, if you think it's a con, then first of all, I don't donate to anybody on the internet. But
well, that's good. You're smart.
I think it's fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it from a content creator, right? So let's say, do you know who Anthony Cumia is?
Who?
Anthony Cumia.
You're gonna have to fill me on that one.
Do you know the show, the old radio show, Opie and Anthony?
Oh, okay. I know a little bit about it, but not much.
All right. So Opie and Anthony Cumia was the Anthony and Opie and Anthony. He got fired from XM Radio and started up Compound Media, which is basically his own show, his own group of shows. Well, he has his show, and then he has other shows on this site, and it's all behind a paywall.
Okay.
So instead of having a Patreon up and using YouTube, he has his own platform. And you have to pay in order to view the content. Right?
Okay.
Well, before we go too much further, do you have an issue with somebody paying somebody on Patreon?
Well, I used to, but like honestly, I can't say that it's. I mean, I used to have an issue with that, but honestly, I thought that it was ill-founded. So I think that if like you're giving people through a tip jar system like Patreon, or just having a PayPal link for like, I produce content, give me money this way. I don't think there's anything. I mean, I think it's a questionable business purchasing decision depending on like, the quality of the work or whatever. But if they want to make, if some content, you can only make money through that system. So I can't fault people for that, to be honest. So that issue taken by itself, like Patreon itself, yeah, I got an issue with that company because of some certain things they've done in the past. But this, the act of like asking for money and getting it for putting out content that you're producing for free, no, that's, people can do that. That's fine.
Okay, so let's say you've got this, you've developed your own platform. It's behind a paywall.
Okay.
And expenses to operate said platform go up, and you raise the subscription fee.
Okay.
To meet the costs needed to keep it afloat, essentially, and pay the people that work there, and to be able to provide the content that your viewers are expecting and paying for. Do you have an issue with that subscription raise?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about Opie and Anthony and the lore behind it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, Netflix just bumped up their prices, right?
I like, again, because I remember they did a kind of bullshit move, and like the CEO had like the worst PR presentation. I mean, seriously, the guy came out and said that, oh well, people have to pay, could only afford one latte instead of two now when they use Netflix, which I think like that's just,
all right. That's fucked up. I didn't know about that. But let's say Amazon Prime bumps their fucking yearly subscription up, right?
Okay.
I mean, you've got an option of where to put your money.
Okay, that's
if you
fine.
find it as an individual purchasing a good, you have the capability of deciding what money you want to spend on what. If somebody could have easily gone into Styx's GoFundMe and donated the entire thing and just said, "Here's your fucking laptop, dude. I love your shit. I want you to keep doing it."
Like one fan did with Spoonie back like years and years
I
back.
don't know. Yeah, maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah, like a fan like donated a bunch of money to for Spoonie to get like this super awesome computer. This is before Spoonie turned to a complete retard and started like e-begging while making zero content back in the day. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, if someone wants to do that, I might ask them, well, why are you doing it? But I mean, I can't say, well, you did something immoral there by, giving him this expensive computer or whatever. And if someone did that for Styx, like maybe Styx did a video, man, funny, like, hey guys, I'm doing this video off my phone because I was a retard. I broke my laptop. And then someone was like, okay, dude, I'll give you the money for it. I couldn't say there's anything wrong on Styx's part, like if that happened, for him accepting it. And like if the pay piggy really wants to do it, again, I'd ask, why are you doing this? But there's nothing really inherently wrong with it. The issue I have is there's two things really. One is I don't like so many of these cases, they turn out to be cons, schemes, or other harebrained ideas that don't go anywhere, and they just.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, that's the first thing, and the second thing is that one of the tactics they like to use is they emotionally manipulate their audience. So they say they play the sympathy card like they just. And they do it like they play the sympathy card, not just so that way, they get like a connection with their audience or whatever, but they do it for cash. They do it for money. And that part is just manipulative. It's just slimy. It's just a level of greed that I can't stand. It's just, I mean, like you saw the video. The guy was like, even if the story was true, and I'm just going to say that based on the contradictions in the story, going from he dropped it on the rock to he dropped it on the floor because he tripped over a wire or something like that. That's a contradiction enough for me. But the way he was just playing it up and selling it, he was clearly selling it to try and get people to feel as to get people to buy his to fund his stupid shit. Like,
I mean, the purpose of the video was to try to get people to fund his shit. The contradictions in his story, I don't find them to be nearly as much of an issue as you do. A rock and a pebble.
What about a rock versus the floor? Like,
a rock on the floor. He said he dropped it on something and it fucked it up. He said he wasn't even sure what it was. And the last thing he said, where he threw it on the floor, he didn't say anything about tripping over a wire. He said he was an idiot, threw his laptop on the floor.
Yeah, but that's like 4 or 5 different stories. He's not consistent through it. I think the story's bullshit. Like there's something fishy going on with that.
I don't see that much of an inconsistency. The laptop, he dropped the laptop and it fell on the floor and it broke. Whether he said he threw it, I mean, that's just awkward phrasing. You know, I'm an idiot. I fucking threw my laptop on the floor and it broke.
Again, it didn't come off as awkward phrasing to me, especially not when you're doing a video for this
The
to raise
dude's
money.
an awkward fucker.
I mean, like
First
by
of all,
that
he's weird as
logic, you
shit.
could just get it. Like, no, I'm not buying that. Just because he's awkward doesn't mean he's incapable of lying. That's retarded.
I'm not saying that.
Okay,
I'm just
then
saying.
again, the inconsistencies of the story, the fact, the way he was playing it up, the idea that he's paying $20,000 in taxes, which is really weird. Why is he paying that much money in taxes when all he does for income is to make money off of Patreon and YouTube and stuff like that? Doesn't make any sense.
He sells books too.
Oh yeah, there's that. Maybe like I don't know.
I know he does other
shit.
shit. What stunk to high hell to me is that he's talked about having a fuckload of money, and that would make sense with his $20,000 fucking taxes. But then where's his money? The only thing that could possibly make sense to me out of it is if his money was not liquid. And why he was doing the GoFundMe was to get cash quickly.
Yeah, and also he also already had a laptop at his disposal. So it's like it's just complete bullshit what Styx was doing.
But it's reaching the, again, it goes back to maintaining that the consistent level of quality.
Yeah, but again,
if he's going to be producing phone videos.
Yeah, but the thing about the consistent level of quality, quote unquote, like there's not really much of a difference from like an audience perspective. Like, yeah, if you're comparing things beat per beat, like you put them side by side, okay, this quality is better than this quality. But when it comes to viewership and quality, as far as the content goes, considering it's just a dude talking, A, you don't need that, and B, when you enter a game or a video or something like that, you notice it for like maybe the first few seconds or a couple minutes, and then it just doesn't affect anything else. Like if Styx was like, I could see the case for that if Styx needed like was an animator or if he was making some really impressive action shots, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, and it's also only for 2 weeks. Like, there's no reason for him to be. Again, it's using his audience as his own personal piggy bank. Like that's not like he's just basically he's not treating his audience with respect. He doesn't he doesn't regard them as anything more than just something he can take and just squeeze and get change out of. And it's again,
the opposite argument could be posed that he is treating his audience with respect because he wants to be able to produce that same level of quality of content that they enjoy.
No, that's bullshit. Because like it's 2 weeks. Like his audience has the intelligent caliber to go. Okay, so his audience will be at so the video's going to be at like 480p as opposed to 1070. Okay, like I mean. Again, if you put in all the factors, treat his audience as being smart people who would get that, like not having an Alienware made laptop made thing.
First of all,
necessary,
him buying a fucking expensive Alienware is retarded.
Yeah, that's another aspect about this that I pointed out.
I mean,
he even said in the video.
Wait,
this brings up an important point too. He even said in the video that if with the funds he had available, by his own words in the video, he said that he could buy like a tablet, but oh no, it wouldn't be as good as a laptop.
Well, tablets have different operating systems, and they're complete fucking garbage. You may as well. They're essentially big phones.
But again, he said he could produce the videos with it, so I don't see what the issue is. Like why he can't have that for a couple of weeks and then later buy the laptop. It's the same thing. And
because you'd be spending money on a tablet. And then having to spend more money on a laptop.
Well, that's what happens when shit goes tits up. Like it's something you prepare for as a business, where you go ahead and you take funds and you set them aside, so that way in case something happens, you make sure those funds go into something else. And he also claimed that, oh well, I've been spending money on other people's bills. Like that's just like such a like.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was.
All right. One thing I did hear you say was another kind of similar to same on the crowdfunding topic.
Sure.
Crowdfunding a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Specifically in regards to Vic Mignogna. Why do you have an issue with that?
Well, my initial issue was a bit like I said before, like, I mean, there's a few issues I have with the Vic case. And again, I cannot pronounce any foreign word like at all, so I'm just gonna call him Vic. So with the Vic case, it seemed to me like, you know, with a lot of these cases where a bunch of people come out and they say, "Oh, this guy's guilty of it," the knee-jerk reaction from people who are like of the center left or even center right sphere of things, they'll say that, "Oh, well, the guy's totally innocent. These are just allegations. All these women are lying, all 25 of them, etc." They're all just a bunch of evil liars who want to destroy an innocent man. And then it later turns out, oh wait, no, he was actually guilty. He was actually a serial rapist, and this guy was a horrible piece of shit.
Well, did you hear what the allegations were?
I looked into well, that's the thing I'm getting to. Like, I looked into them more, and a lot of them just seem like, I mean,
they're not even sexual assault. He couldn't be criminally charged for anything that they alleged against him.
Debatable on account. Well, I'll just quote from Nick Rekieta, who's like very pro-Vic, said that like a couple of them could be put before trial. So there's that.
I think he said none of them could be put before trial.
No, he did not say none of them could. He said that like a very few of them. He did say might be able to be put through trial in very fringe cases, but that's what he said. I can't pull up immediately, but he did say that on one of his streams. But anyway, but to answer that question, yeah, I looked into a little bit more, and yeah, a lot of the charges of like him being like a sexual harasser, I'm like a serial sexual, like, again, it's like the guy like openly admitted, and he sent these apology videos, which can be taken as one of two ways. One, there is some where there's smoke, there's fire. He's guilty of some of the things that they're accusing him of, like when he had touched people inappropriately or when they didn't want to be. That was true. That's what he apologized for. He said he kissed and he grabbed people without their consent. He said that in front of an audience, in front of a camera, at a convention, and he made grabbing motions to illustrate the point. That was the first thing that got me. And
I mean, putting your hand, I mean, walking up and hugging a fan, I mean, that's not sexual assault.
I mean, I'll just take your word on that for the moment, because honestly, it would be hard to push a sexual assault charge on that. But I mean, there might be some jurisdictions where that would constitute sexual assault. However, that being said, the point I'm getting at is that... I may be wrong,
but he apologized to anyone that felt harassed.
That was a different...
He didn't apologize for anything specific.
He made 3 different apologies. He made one from a video, he made one on Twitter, one on Facebook. And the ones on Twitter and Facebook were softer. Like you said, it was like the non-apology of like, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, so he doesn't admit guilt, but he puts the apology statement out there anyway. But the other one I'm talking about, he specifically apologized because he said that I shouldn't have he said that he shouldn't have he didn't mean to he never intended to cause any harm. Then sometimes there was cases where he hugged people and he kissed them and they did not want to be hugged or kissed.
Did he say that there were? I mean, after the fact that they come out and say it, right?
I mean,
is he saying that he knew that they did not want to be hugged and kissed and he did it anyways? Or is he saying that he gave him a hug and a kiss?
He's not claiming that. He's claiming he didn't know. He didn't know that this was inappropriate, and that he would like people to help him, work out how to fix this. That's what he said in one of the speeches he made in regards to the allegations. So, looking at that video, look at the other stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know if this guy's guilty or not, but I'm not just going to go ahead.
Dude, hugging and kissing people isn't sexual assault.
Like I said, let's say that's true. If this guy's a creepy pervert who's doing certain thing, who's doing the thing, even.
I mean, if he's a habitual titty grabber, that's different. But he's hugging and kissing fans that are coming up to him to take pictures with, having a hug with him, right?
Sure. If that's the that would be a charitable interpretation of events.
If somebody is handsy. Like, say, you know, you're a fan of somebody and you're standing in line and you're going to pay to have them, to talk to them, have some sort of interaction with them and have a signature from them, right? And they hug you around the shoulder, right? Have some sort of physical contact with you. Like, that doesn't seem like creepy behavior to me. And it's absolutely not some sort of a form of sexual assault.
I mean, okay, so here's the issue. Like, yeah, I would agree that, like, you know, if someone's been hugged in an appropriate way, like once or twice, it happens, like awkward moments happen or whatever. But the issue is, like, the issue I'm seeing here with this is that, I'll have to agree. It does look like Vic seems, it does seem like, at least, unless some new evidence comes to light, which is always possible, that Vic is not guilty or nearly as guilty as people make him out to be. But the fact of the matter is that he apologized for some of the allegations, some of the conduct in the proceedings. It does make me skeptical if the suit can be won or not, because defamation cases are very hard to win, which is why you hear them seldom win. It is possible that in this, but again, and again, I do have to couch this by saying, like, it's not just Nick Rekieta who's supported this. It's also been Ty Beard, like something I pointed out early on the show. Ty Beard and his law firm have gone ahead and endorsed it. So there is that. And if they lose the case, it would be embarrassing for their law firm. So, I mean, I can't just use my layman's opinion and say, well, it seems unlikely to win the case because defamation cases tend to lose when you have a guy who has a lot at stake here for this. So, I mean, I could just have been wrong about the whole thing, to be honest, at this point. But again,
all right. So, well, let's take the situation at face value, right?
Sure.
So we've got a voice actor who is basically being Twitter brigaded out of his career.
Okay.
Are you against a defamation lawsuit in order to protect to essentially repair the damages done?
I mean, like, am I against
saying that he is innocent? I mean, if the guy's a rapist, then fucking throw him in a cell and cut his balls off.
Well, obviously, but
he's not being accused of rape. If
he can seek okay, so if Vic is innocent and he sues them, then good on him. Like that on its own, I have no issue with. Like, if he's being defamed, why would I be against him suing them? Like, go for it. Like, I mean, there is an esoteric argument to be made that defamation laws should be reformed or whatever, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, we're working with the laws that we've got.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him using his own money to go ahead and sue these guys now.
Do you have a problem with somebody else with it being crowdfunded on his behalf?
Well, I said earlier, I don't trust Nick. I think Nick just uses this as an opportunity to go ahead and give his channel a boost, get a lot of super chats in, make some dosh with his based lawyer shtick, and just not and sell his audience on this. That's true. But as far as as this lawsuit goes, it's being crowdfunded. I mean, like, someone else made the case to me that that this fervor was already there and that they should go ahead with it. But I mean, like, I don't like it because, again, it's because I've seen where cases like this have happened in the past, and they've where there's a progressive mob of individuals who are after a person, and they say some nasty things about the person, some true, some not so true things, some exaggerated, some not so exaggerated things, and then the person gets fired or loses their job or whatever. And whenever a lawsuit comes up, there's a reason they get made fun of. They're called lawsuits for a reason, because they get threatened. There's maybe some minor action or scuttlebutt about it, and then it doesn't go anywhere. And and when it comes to this one, I can't get rid of that cynicism. I can't say this is a good idea to go ahead and back this thing up. Like, is Vic like some kind of schemer in this thing where he himself is trying to scam this for his own personal fame and glory? At this point, I can't say, looking closer at the guy, I can't say that's the case at all. I don't think Vic is trying to become an e-celeb off of this. I don't think he's trying to scam people. I mean, maybe Nick Rekieta is up to something, maybe. But as far as
Nick's running a show, a
Yeah.
shitload of people find it entertaining, and they throw fucking money at him.
I'm aware.
I mean, when he covers other stuff, they throw money at him too.
I'm aware of that.
So the way I'm looking at this is, it's basically fighting back against this Twitter mob, burn them at the stake, ruin somebody's life over basically fucking SJWs
Actually,
hating
I'll
you for your
tell you what's
political
about.
perspective.
I'll tell you one thing I don't like about this. Even if Nick is like the nastiest pervert on the planet, there is an aspect about
Vic?
this I don't like.
Vic, right? Not Nick.
If I said Nick, my apologies. About Vic.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, why are the progressives doing this? Because the allegations are either but the allegations really seem flimsy. Like, let's assume they're all false. Like, even if they're true or false, I don't think it really matters, because the reason they're doing this, it's not because they want to protect people or it's a safety concern. It's always this little tidbit that people put in there. Oh, Vic is homophobic. Like, they throw this allegation out there, which, I mean, I think there's some truth to it in the sense that he's not a fan of gay people, because he's like, because what he likes to do at these conventions, something else that I've noticed about the guy, is like he likes to bring up his Christian faith and Christianity at these things. That's something that that progressives cannot stand. They hate Christianity, and part of that means they do not tolerate faggots. They don't like homosexuality because it is written multiple times in both the Old and New Testaments to be sinful. And as such, when a fan comes up to him and says that, hey, I want you to sign my Yahweh fanfic, he's like, no, I'm not a big fan of that. He uses it. And me personally, it doesn't really matter if you want to believe Vic on this or not. And I'm not saying that like Vic is a big liar for saying this or not, but he said that he doesn't sign Yowie fanfics or anything that are non-canon. That's his stance on it. That's why he said he doesn't sign it. To me personally, I think that he doesn't do that because it's something that he finds disgusting and reprehensible because of his background.
I mean, what kind of... He has the right to put his name on what he wants. I wouldn't sign some fucking filthy degenerate shit.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, he could just tell him, fuck you, I don't want to sign yours. Specifically you, because I don't like your fucking face.
Yeah, so it's clear to me why they're doing this. And they always bring it up as like a tidbit, but to me, yeah, I think that's the primary motivation.
Yeah, and he is far more successful than the people that are basically, the front runners of this kick Vic bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this mentality anyway. Like, even if the allegations were true, I'm not a fan of this mentality. Oh, okay, well, we'll just use it as a weapon when it's convenient. I think that's bullshit, and I don't think that's a reason to go ahead and ruin someone's reputation just because you don't like them.
Yeah, so I agree with that. And the thing I like about this lawsuit is that it's a pushback on that. So the next time somebody thinks to defame somebody and ruin their career on Twitter over, virtue signaling or jealousy and using virtue signaling as their tool to ruin somebody, they'll think twice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get the logic of that. I mean, that's kind of why, I still have to remain suspect of it, because I don't want this.
I'm in support of it if he hugs people all the fucking time and kisses people on the cheek all the fucking time. If he was running around, he was a habitual titty and pussy grabber, that's different. But that's not what's being alleged.
I mean, again, if Nick can win, if they can win the case and establish that doing this bullshit will get you financial consequences. Honestly, I mean,
I see that as a net positive.
It might be a net positive, but it's gonna be awfully circumstantial though, because the other thing that might come out of this is other people might try to join the bandwagon. And actually, no, I shouldn't even go there, because honestly, if this works, it's probably the only
Bandwagon
time
the
this...
fuck out of it.
No. I'll tell you why.
Pushing back.
Actually, no, it's something I've talked about before. Remember the Count Dankula case?
Yeah.
Where's the money for that going exactly? Because I haven't been able to get an answer out of that so far. The only thing I can really see is that, oh, well, we're maybe making an appeal that can't go anywhere, like, because, you know, Dankula's an idiot. He broke the law clearly, and there's no case for him to defend himself. It is a dumb law, I agree, but I mean, the guy should have looked at where he lives, and he was fully aware of this, and it's not like they kept this a secret from him. So when he raised all that money, he raised like how much? He raised like $250,000 for actions that he did on his fuck up, and it's a case that can't go anywhere. And Sargon of Akkad, he pretends he's this big free speech advocate for this case where he rips someone else's content, puts it in a YouTube video. To my understanding, it was a straight rip. He didn't even edit the video to add any kind of other footage or anything like that. And he gets sued for it for copyright infringement, because you can't just rip other people's content and just change the title or whatever, put it up there. Hell, for that matter, like, we could go in, like, I'm not going to go into specifics about copyright law.
Well, I'm somewhat familiar with both of those situations. One of them, Dankula, I mean, he's dealing with the, you know, the law coming after him. And with Sargon, he fucking ripped somebody off and he's getting sued for it. They're suing him for an outrageous amount for some fucking tiny video, right?
Yeah, but it's not a free speech thing. It's Sargon fucked up.
Well, didn't he put the title of it to spin it in a satirical manner?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. It's not a case like.
I mean, that changes stuff, man. That is changing the content.
Yeah, I've heard him use that. I've heard him use that case before, but he'd have to prove that in court. It's not like fair use.
Well, that's on him to prove it in court.
Yeah, it is up to him to prove it in court. He has to establish fair use. Fair use is a defense. It's not a catch-all that gives you an instant liability-free way to use other people's content. And I say this as someone who like regularly steals content all the time. Like, if I ever were to get sued or get a cease and desist letter for anything I put up, I would never, ever ask people to fund a lawsuit for that. I wouldn't care about that.
Well, that's a completely different situation from what's going on with Vic.
Oh, okay. Well, again, yeah, I agree. But the reason I was bringing this up was, I can't really worry about a precedent for this thing happening because people are already dumb enough to donate to these dumb lawsuits in cases where it's not legitimate. So if this is the one time it works and it does a net positive, then I guess it's just it's one time where donating to an e-celeb worked, even though that would be the only time it's actually been something beneficial. All the other cases it hasn't been. So.
Well, he's not an e-celeb.
Okay, that is true. I guess that's the reason why it's an exception to the rule.
Yeah, it's not like Sargon saying, I fucked up, pay for my lawsuit.
Yeah,
and
I agree. It's not the same as that. It's like.
And wasn't the case with Dankula? Didn't that case set precedent?
No.
All right, I'm not as familiar with it.
Yeah, no, it didn't set precedent. Dankula tried to he tried to make his case in court. It didn't work because the judge was like, no, giggling and cackling about gassing the Jews isn't unoffensive because of whatever bullshit reason he was trying to say it wasn't offensive, and then he got fined, and his next course of action was not to pay the fine. And apparently he's trying to apparently he's due to go to jail at some point, but the last I heard they
just took money from him.
Yeah, that's basically what that's the thing with the GoFundMe. No, I don't know where that money went. Dankula hasn't really given any detailed updates about where the money is being used for. Apparently he's hired some with that much money he's gotten, he should be able to hire a law firm in England and be able to push back or get something out of it. He should be able to show receipts on this stuff. Even the money badgers who are stupid enough to hire a disbarred lawyer. I couldn't make this up if I tried.
I heard a little bit about this. It was so fucking dumb that I couldn't even look into it.
Yeah, it's I actually I actually wrote an article about it. I'll post it in like the I'll get that later, post it later. But regardless, yeah, but even they were able to show that they hired the guy, like in Count Dankula's case, and a lot of others cases, they just don't show any updates on the receipts or whatever. So yeah, I guess that's the reason I guess I am still to some degree, but I guess it's the reason why I've been super skeptical of the whole Vic Kicks Back fundraiser.
I mean, the main distinguishing difference for me is e-celebs using their platform to fund their retarded lawsuits, and an e-celeb using his platform to set up a GoFundMe on somebody else's behalf to fund their lawsuit against something that seems kind of like it would be beneficial to push back against the fucking leftist bullshit.
Fair enough. I might just change my mind completely about this as time goes on. Like, if there's no foul play involved, I might just say that, yeah, okay, they did the right thing here.
I would recommend watching the streams that Ricada has done with Ty Beard, if you haven't already.
I've watched some of them, but, like, the problem with that is Ty Beard isn't just going on those streams just about the lawsuit. He's also going on there to promote other things with his political agenda, which that might be a beneficial result, but like although I don't know, I'm not exactly a fan of someone of I don't know what this Rand Corporation is that he's been pushing, but I'm not exactly a fan of the Ayn Rand that's named after. So beneficial ? But regardless, I don't like that kind of promotion stuff. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I have watched some of them. I've heard their statements and stuff. Curiously enough, I think they fucked up by saying that they're getting their sources from Kiwi Farms directly. I think that there was a way out of that by just not mentioning the site, because I'm certain that other parties involved are going to have a field day with that one, given all the controversies Kiwi Farms has been involved with.
Well, I mean, they're not getting sources from Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms just compiling information and handing it over to them.
That'll probably be their defense. Like, oh, well, we did. Like, honestly, I don't think it will matter on the case. Well, it might not matter on the case, I should say. I don't know if it will or not, but I don't think that, like, whatchamacallit? Something about I lost my train of thought there, but I don't think it's a good idea to start.
The optics of being involved with Kiwi Farms isn't going to be good.
Yeah, like if I was any kind of public official, I wouldn't be saying that. Oh yeah, Kiwi Farms provides some good things, which is true, they do. But like, given how that looks, just given how the world
that's not going to change. That's not going to change what the suit's about. It has nothing to do with what the suit's about.
I guess. I mean, maybe it's not as big an issue as I'm making out to be, but I still think that in the long run it might be a mistake.
I mean, it could be. I don't see how, but
all right, fair enough. I mean, like, if I'm wrong about the Vic case, I admit I'm wrong. I've already admitted that tonight that I was wrong about a couple of aspects of it. So not just a couple of aspects, actually quite a few aspects. But regardless, I'm not always going to be correct on the take I make. So
all right, that's fair enough. The last thing, I guess, is the plate gang shit.
Oh, plate gang shit? Well, what about it?
What were you accusing me of that we were going to fucking talk about? You're accusing me of being a plate gang shill?
I didn't say you were a plate gang shill. I just said you were part of the plate gang because you are friends with them and engage in their ops.
I don't engage in their ops. All right, here, that reminds me of one thing.
Sure.
Raiding a server.
Yeah,
right.
You guys raided the server. It's evident, like, there's all these messages of, like, all these faggots who come in and then suddenly leave after the raid is over, after the link was dropped in the server that in one of your servers.
Yeah, I mean, it's an open server. You've been invited to it repeatedly.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't see that. It doesn't matter if it's open or private. The fact of the matter is the link was posted there, and the fact of making it open makes the raid more successful, not less than one, because you can get more people involved. So, like, the intent to shit up the server, it's right there, and all you guys came in. So, like, there was a raid, there was an op there. I don't see. I don't
know if it's an op posting a link in a server,
and then tell everyone, "Hey, this is his server. Everyone go in there."
If most of the time, it's not even like that. I mean, if you're in VC and you're talking with somebody and you're like, "Ha ha ha! This is the faggot that got bullied by a tranny fucker and cried. Here's a server." I mean, people will just be reading the fucking comments in the server and see this and click on it, and then see spurgery going on and join in. I don't see how that's a raid.
I mean, like, you could put like
I don't see how that's an op.
And I
don't see how that would make somebody clicking on that server link and going over to the server.
I mean, by that logic, I mean, that sounds like the same kind of defense that Kraut would use on, like, when he was exposed for his ops. Like, oh, we were just trolling people. We were just goofing around. You know, like when it came to when they went after Black Pigeon Speaks and when they went after Alt Hype.
Yeah, but he went after. So, goddamn fucking Kraut bullshit.
They
used
so
the much since then that it's pushed it out of my mind. So what exactly did he do to go after Black Pigeon Speaks?
Something
Black Pigeon Speaks.
Oh,
and
Black
what was
Pigeon
his
Speaks?
goal? And what were he put out videos calling him a fucking propaganda pornographer or some shit, and then he called him a plagiarist.
Yep.
He's trying to basically put together hit pieces on him because he doesn't agree with his political view.
Essentially, that was Kraut's modus operandi for when it came to whatchamacallit. That was what he was doing with that. And he was also with Alt Hype. He was trying, they were gathering evidence that he's a pedophile, which there doesn't seem like the most evidence they were able to come up with is okay. So some randos on the internet, which mostly seemed like sock. Actually, no, all of which seemed like sock accounts as far as I could tell, were calling him a pedophile. That was the extent of the evidence of that. And all types of faggot.
Videos? Did he put together videos on him to try to?
No, but he was involved with collecting the video of him, which apparently Kraut had discovered a video of him masturbating and shared it with the other people in the server, and also his cohorts also dug up on his past and publicly said that Alt Hype was a pedophile and they were going to make a video about it. And then Ron Bishop tried to make the case on Twitter, but I mean, Ron Bishop was wrong as usual, so that's how that went. And they said that, and Kraut defended this behavior because he said, oh, we were just planning various things, including trolling Alt Hype in his video on Bravery Ruin. And I sound like an autist reciting all this from memory at this point. So,
oh, I mean, if I fucking started spouting the shit off that I remember from the past year, I'd sound like an autist as well. I just wasn't involved at that point. Well, not even. I mean, I've just started getting involved in this shit in like the last 2 or 3 months.
I see.
I wasn't paying attention at that point. But I mean, so Kraut's had a 100,000 plus viewer channel that he would produce this shit on, and put together videos as hit pieces on people. And he would sit in this server and gather information with his retarded autists, and they would go after people that they disagreed on in a political sense.
Okay, and?
I mean, equating what you call Plate Gang server to that, I feel like is.
I mean, like, I don't think you can argue it's not a Plate Gang server. Mustard is part of the Plate Gang. He doesn't even deny it.
Yeah, he is.
In fact, I believe that one of his catchphrases was "Plate Gang is a community, guys."
Plate Gang is what?
A community.
That's a meme.
Well, there's some truth in some memes.
I mean, it's a community that it's not really.
But
It's
the point is,
random
it's run
fucking
by
people
Plate Gang.
in the
It's a
Discord
Plate Gang server, so.
What's run by? It's just he's just the owner of the server. He doesn't ban people. There's one fucking rule. Like, well, there's two. Don't post score and don't post New Zealand shit.
Okay. I mean, it's still a server that's run by Plate Gang. The Plate Gang all hangs out there, and they try to get autists in there in order to fuck with them. So.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, yeah, but.
That's not the same as going after somebody's YouTube channel.
I mean,
and trying to fucking put together hit pieces on them.
I mean, sure, but, you know, the same night that you guys go into the server, you also decide to go on the voice channel. I had 2 people yell at me, 1 person try to noise spam the stream, and I had a 3rd person playing audio recordings of me on there as well.
Yeah, and you remember why this all happened, right?
Why did it happen?
Well, because you were fighting with one dude in
one of the Plate Gang
Zoom
members.
server.
Continue.
I'm pretty sure. Who was it?
It was. I believe he's called Mr. P.
No, it's a pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, he goes by. I think
that's not Mr. P.
Oh, okay, my mistake then. Unless yeah.
P. It would be what was Plate Gang. So
okay, I see.
Pepperoni Pizza is just another dude in the fucking server that likes to laugh at retards.
Yeah, well,
And
it just
you
seems
guys started
like a
going
lot
at
of
it,
people
and
that
you
are
kept
part of
refusing
the
to
Plate
go
Gang.
in there.
It just seems like a lot of people that are part of the Plate Gang like to do this thing where, oh, well, there's only 5 members, only 6 members, only 7. Like, I think you guys should really
How
look
do you
back.
become a member of the Plate Gang? I don't even fucking understand. Like, it's
Well, you
just
join in on their
people in a
ops.
server.
Well, you join in on their
How
ops.
is it an op to go make fun of somebody?
It's not just a making fun of people thing. It's also shitting up their streams, shitting up their servers, and also don't forget, Negro Joe said that, yeah, I openly dox people, I openly try to get people fired, I openly do all this other shit, and he took orders from Ralph, and he was doing it for months. He said it on this channel.
Yeah, I know.
And Zoom
And he said
also
that-
got the other members of the Plate Gang to admit to all this.
I mean, they openly admit what they do all the time.
Yeah, and there was
And-
more than 5 members when Zoom mentioned this, and he got more than 5 people on stream.
When was this?
This was back. I covered on this channel. Give me a second. You can also find a copy of the stream on Metacurse Fembot's channel, unless she deleted it.
One of Zoom's streams from Stream Me.
Yeah. She mirrored it.
Okay. That was just people that were in that Discord.
Okay, so it's just people on the Discord who were called who Zoom happened to call Plate Gang, who came on stream, all admitted that they were engaging in Plate Gang's ops. It just seems like, I mean, at that point, how are you not Plate Gang, where you're just accepting the label, admitting that you took part in the activities of the group, and were an active participant in the group? It just doesn't make any sense.
I just don't see what. I mean, I don't even fucking understand what Plate Gang is. It's what? Some dudes that.
They're a group of people engaging in. They're a group of people engaging in ops, most like ops, taking directives from guys like Ralph and Zoom to get shit done for them for various reasons. They like to use the guise of trolling in order to get away with it.
The guise of trolling. All right, so what other reason would there be? To prop up an e-celeb?
Precisely. Basically gravitate around the e-celeb. The e-celeb gets big, and then they have they have a bigger pool of retards to fuck with. And they can do more stupid shit. And then in exchange, because the e-celeb gives them so many privileges and grants, they can go ahead and fuck with more retards. Either that, or there's some other reason that I could only hypothesize.
So that was the benefit that he got from Ralph. That plate got from Ralph, right?
Yeah, it's like the same
They
benefit
got
that other.
access to the Patreon Discord or whatever, and that they could fuck with Ralph's pay pigs.
Yep.
So that was, I mean,
They even actually, I don't even. That's not even speculation. They admitted to it, and
yeah,
Zoom even
that's not speculation.
Yeah, Zoom framed it specifically as Ralph paid us to do this.
It wasn't paid.
Well, Zoom called it payment. I imagine what Zoom meant by that is he got what he got
access
from
to a paid server.
Yeah, he called it payment. Like, you want to argue with him, go ahead.
I mean, I guess you can call that a form of payment, having access to another pool of idiots that are behind a paywall.
Yeah, that's what he was referred to as payment.
What? I don't know. I wasn't around at that point. But anyways, working with, say, Zoom, right? What benefits would there be for that with that other than just having access to more fucking retards to make fun of?
Not sure. I mean, I noticed that, I'm not saying that Zoom is inherent evil, but as far as whatever benefits that Zoom would be given to Plague King, again, bigger pool of idiots to fuck with, more I guess more e-cred for being around this guy. It's like,
what e-cred?
I don't know. Like that's
there's no fucking cred on Discord. You're just another fucking
but there is cred for people who go on who try to build streams for themselves, try to build YouTube channels for themselves, and
I'm pretty sure none of these guys have YouTube channels.
No, I'm talking about Zoom has the YouTube channel. They orbit around him. Zoom gives them more access to wider audiences, lets them on their channel, etc. Getting buddy with these e-celebs means that they have more of a playground to mess with.
You gain access to a larger pool of people. So, for example, it all started in Spike Club, right? With Ralph's original Discord, there's a shitload of idiots in there.
Yeah, that's true. Ralph let them do a lot of fucking idiots.
Yeah, and I mean SPCC is still full to the fucking brim with complete goddamn idiots, degenerates, retards of all sorts.
Considering Ralph has also started hugboxing the server, I think that the retard population proportionally has increased.
It has.
Yeah.
Well, they've started piping up more, at least, because they don't get fucked with.
Yeah, that must be fun.
It's unfortunate, because...
Well, that sucks for you. I was kicked out of that server, so I don't have to worry about it.
I've somehow maintained I'm somehow still in there. Somehow, some fucking way.
Okay, that's funny.
I just fly below the radar in there, because I'm going to pop into his fucking green room one day.
Yeah, knowing Ralph, he won't let you on the show, because Ralph can't stand having... Ralph is just, shit, man.
It's just too... I've grown too bored with him to fucking bug him.
I don't know.
I'm having too much fun making fun of Andy right now.
Oh, yeah, damn, I could do I should update this. I should just do another show. But anyway, let's get back on the topic of the Plague King. Sum it up real quickly. My thoughts on the Plague King at this point. I don't think that they're just another trolling group. I think that based on their behavior, based on how two-faced they've been, how they've covered for Ralph, how they've been willing to work with, just with working with Ralph alone, and willing to lie for him, willing to cover for him, willing to go ahead and say things do favors for him. Another thing that I've noticed, and also the same behavior in Zoom. Zoom also said that, the gun meme doesn't really affect Ralph at first. I know that stream still exists where he said that, where he was defending Ralph over the gun memes and the jokes and stuff like that, and then he went around and just started making that his bread and butter. I also noticed that after Zoom's 180, he decided he just went relentlessly in on Ralph, and he said that he was also planning this since he the comment that I also highlighted, which episode? I forget which episode it was.
Yeah, this is Zoom's revenge.
Yeah, that one. Like Zoom is not in this to like, anyone who thinks that Zoom is like some kind of noble person, no, he's not. He's ignoble. Like he's just in it for his own petty, selfish reasons because he got made fun of for some dumb shit he said in some live stream on Blab.
I mean, and for the entertainment value.
There is some entertainment. Like, yeah, that's
funny.
That's the thing. Not everything Zoom has done has been complete garbage. Like, for example, going after JF, going after Josh, and having some entertaining streams that other people weren't having. So, yeah, there's been some good things he's done.
I mean, just watching Zoom do what he does on a stream is pretty fucking entertaining. Like, nobody else is going to dock somebody live on stream like that. Nobody else is going to fucking call in the paramedics to go to somebody's house on a stream like that. Like, agree with his tactics or not, there's entertainment value to that.
Well, yeah, there's entertainment value in a lot of these people I mentioned. People I like, people I don't like. That's true. So, in the case of Zoom, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't watched the show in a while. I don't know what he's been talking about. The last I seen of him was, I know. The last stream was the one where he was walking around New York looking for Ethan Ralph. I was just, that was entertaining, but I don't think the way Zoom had intended with that one.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good idea. I didn't watch it, but
it was, well, I mean, from my perspective, it was great. I mean, but not from his, no. But no, I don't think that, like, I mean, honestly, even if you just take me out of the equation, no one should be trusting this Plate Gang at all because of how
nobody should trust anybody on the internet. Period.
Yeah, but let me just be more specific with that. Nobody should. When the Plate Gang comes along and says they're a bunch of trolls, no one should believe that because of the relationship they had with Ralph. They dick rode him for months and months and months before they decided they didn't like him anymore, and then just spilt the beans.
I don't think it was dick riding. I think it was covering him for mutual benefit.
Well, whichever
because
way you want to phrase
knowing that
it.
if they didn't cover for him, that they would lose access to their pool of idiots.
Yeah. So it's not just like that's the thing with these so-called troll groups. Yeah, they might like to fuck with people and stuff, but there's always people they want to support. Like for example, you know that cry video that you guys like to play? I think I mentioned this before, but I'll just mention it on air. Yeah, there is a group that did that. They were called the Grapists. They were doing everything they could to defend Sargon. Like, they didn't like what myself and Verilo and others had to say about the guy, and they didn't like what other people were saying about, like, how Gamergate was basically going down the shitter and was becoming the gayest pile of garbage ever. This is back in 2015. And they did everything they could to shit it up, and they shit up our efforts. They went ahead, they raided GG Revolt, they made sure to make it complete and utter garbage. They went ahead and they tried to push as much detraction as they could on myself and also on Verilo as well. They were okay with like doxing when it happened to us. Like they just take the information from there and spread it elsewhere. And these guys were just like big, oh no, doxing is illegal, doxing is the worst thing ever, faggots at the time. And like I think at one point one of them even threatened Veril's girlfriend, and she didn't even do anything. She wasn't involved with any of this shit. So those guys who claim that we're just trolling, we're just a group of people, we are like, and they were just scum. They do like it's a shield they use. Like the trolling defense is a shield that a lot of these A-logs like to use. And I do mean A-logs because it's like a personal goal to like hurt the person, even if it's in some kind of petty way. Because they just want to pull ops. And it's the same thing with the Kraut gang as well. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. I don't think I have much more to say than that.
I do have one question.
Yeah, go for it.
What made you cry in that video, in that clip?
Well, I addressed this before. Ego on my part, honestly. I should have just not let it bug me that...
Because I've only heard it.
Like here's the thing. Here's the thing with that video.
Like
that video. Crying. Like, how long is that video? It's like an hour, 2 hours long.
I've only heard like right from where you start crying.
Oh, that part.
I've heard like a small
the thing is the video's taken out.
Clip.
The video is edited down from like 5 hours to like 1 hour and a half. It was actually like a 5 hour talk that I had with the faggots. And as far as that goes, like honestly, I should have just never showed in there. Like, I mean, I should have just been like, you know what, fuck these people, and just never bothered with them, or either that, or just left as like a. Because, you know, I went back and forth with them for such a long time, and they weren't doing so well in their arguments. I don't think that's why they wanted to show it a lot, because they weren't doing, like, they look like idiots themselves. It's only because of the crying bit that anyone ever actually shows it. The actual discussion itself is boring. So,
of course, that's fucking hilarious.
I mean, you can say it's hilarious if you want, but just to answer your question, I just say ego,
but do
pride,
you see
stupidity.
why people...
I mean, if you want to laugh at it and say it's hilarious, I mean...
No, but do you see why people come after you after seeing that clip?
I mean, like, they're like, no, that's not it. The reason why, like, those knuckleheads were going after with that, because here's the thing. They got that video from Ralph, firstly. Like, Ralph posted it because he got mad at me because I was kicking his teeth in on his own server because I was calling him out for the hug boxing shit. And I was like, yeah, go ahead, post the video. I don't give a shit. And Ralph really couldn't have any follow-up to that because he's a fucking retard. But as far as the plate gang goes, they saw that. Yeah, they made a few jabs at first, but then they decided, oh, well, now we just don't like this. Now we don't like this John Kelly person. So let's go ahead and try to fuck with him. So I'm not buying that. Oh, it's all because this is funny. Which, yeah, you can find the video. I'm not faulting people for finding it funny.
I think you might be looking into it too much, dude.
Nah, I don't think so.
People fuck with you specifically to try to re-elicit that reaction from you.
Well, okay, whatever.
But do you? I mean, you think that it's something other than that clip of you crying in a stream?
It wasn't a stream, by the way.
Or whatever, that audio recording.
No, it was a recording that was made without my knowledge, and they went ahead, they took it, and they used this leverage over me for months.
I mean, you don't see that too often. When you come across somebody getting bullied in a voice call or whatever, and to the point where they start crying, like, that's pretty fucking funny. And do you think they're going? Some people are going after you for another reason other than?
I mean, it happened before. On the stream, like, it was very, very clear when they started making threats saying, "Oh, you better not like a lot of veiled threats saying that, were you crying before with that, with that, etc." Yeah, like since it was done before, they said, "Oh, if you don't do this, we'll release the tapes." Yeah, I think that people would do that. Absolutely.
Well, who was holding that? I mean,
the rapists again, because they record it because they're scumfucks.
Well, so the people that you were fighting with, they decide
to use this leverage because
so they got that and they used it as leverage to try to get you to do what they want.
Precisely, yeah. Basically, keep quiet about certain things. Stop talking about certain people.
Yeah, but anybody else has gotten their hands on it since then.
No, I don't think they're going to the same. Like, I don't think they're going to the same levels. No, the thing is, why are they going ahead and pushing this shit? Like, all of a sudden,
because it's fucking hilarious, dude. It's hilarious. Okay. Like, the reason why people were jumping into your server, I don't know a few weeks ago, is because you were going to get into a voice call. You were going to get into a VC with Pepperoni Pizza and fight with them over God knows what. That is, all right, we've got a Spurg match. Let's do this, right? And then you were refusing to do it.
No, I didn't. That's the thing. That's the thing. I didn't refuse to do it. I said he could come on.
No, you're refusing. You didn't let me finish. You were refusing to do it in Mustard's VC, which is like Spurg fight VC.
Yeah, because
right?
I don't
go in there and you slap each other around. The winner's the winner. Other people sitting in the VC just get fucking entertainment from it. And like, that's it. And you refused to do it. You wanted to do it on your show. And
well, that's what
people wanted it then and there and now in that VC. And you refused to do it. So then a link to your Discord server was dropped in that Discord. And then people went over there to pester you some more. Like, I went into your Discord hours after the link was dropped.
I mean,
and I started pestering you about getting into the fucking Spurg fight with Pepperoni. Like, that's it. I just wanted to see a fucking Spurg fight, and then I'm Plate Gang all of a sudden because I'm in a server that dropped your Discord link when I saw you fighting somebody else.
Am I
in a
gonna
completely
believe that
separate
was all
server.
just a? I mean, by that logic, maybe Jim should stop with his speculating about, you know, how. Well, okay, you're not going to be aware. If you've only been paying attention just a few months, you're not going to be aware of this, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I've
But
seen
anyway.
all of Jim's content, but
Okay,
stop
so
speculating about what.
whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not really relevant here. But as far as that goes, as far as going to join the server goes, to go ahead and fuck with me just for the lols fam, we're just doing this because we wanted to fuck with the Spurg. No, I'm not buying that. I don't buy that because, again, when it comes to people like the Plate Gang, like they're not doing this. It's not this. Oh, we're just doing this to troll people. No, there's specific.
What other reason is there? What nefarious reason is there besides just trying to elicit reactions out of people that is fucking funny or get them to say stupid shit that you can make fun of them?
Well,
towards?
again, we've already demonstrated they've engaged. The group has engaged in that behavior, and they've done it before. And they've defended Ralph too.
They defended Ralph so they could still have access to their idiots to slap around.
Yeah, again, the fact that they would defend Ralph from the
That's
first.
just a mutually beneficial.
Yeah, that sort of faggotry.
Thing.
Exactly.
And as soon as they got kicked out of
Also,
Ralph's
you
server,
might want to know.
the server
You might want to
fucking
know that
died.
when I asked Negro Joe if he took directives from Zoom, he dodged the question. He refused to answer that. There's a reason for that. It's not because I don't take directives. No, it's he's following orders from him, and he doesn't want to admit that.
Orders. I mean, if we're sitting in a Discord server and Zoom's streaming, and he says, like, I'm
Also,
trying
are
to
we going
find
to pretend that
information on
Zoom
this
does
faggot.
everything he does on the open like he claims to do? Come on.
I
We've
mean,
already proven that he doesn't do that. That's not how he operates.
I mean, Zoom operates how Zoom operates. He operates to achieve his goal of fucking with somebody and getting whatever information he wants on somebody to fuck with them however he wants. Right?
I mean, like,
He targets people. He's been pretty consistent with how he targets people.
no, I don't think he has at all. I think he is consistent in one regard. I think that Zoom targets people that step on his toes a little too much. That's what I think that it's really about when it comes to Zoom. Like this claim that, I only go after scammers and liars. Nah, that's bullshit.
Well, who has he targeted that hasn't been basically had their own show, turned on their fan base, or been a fucking piece of shit that is associated with, I guess, this little corner of YouTube?
I mean, who has he targeted that didn't deserve it? Hard to say because most of these idiots on YouTube do deserve it. So it's kind of like I'm not feeling sorry for the people he's fucked with at all. But
Well, do you think he's gone after somebody who hasn't done something?
Someone in the
to
chat
turn
mentions
their viewer
what about
base against him?
Someone in the chat mentions what about Alex of Danish Police? Would you know anything about that? Because I'm not familiar with that person.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Zoom going after him.
Okay, well I can't.
Like I
comment
said,
on-
I wasn't even on, in servers back then.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough. I just wanted to know if you knew anything about that because I honestly, I'll look into that more. I do not know anything about. I've known Alex. Alex's names has come up on streams, but that's the extent that I know about him. I think I may have
He
heard.
was one that got. He was on. He got trashed, and he started trashing Ralph. And then he was bitching and moaning about the leaderboard on Stream Me and making money there, and talking about how Ralph makes 5 3-hour shows a week and is consistently in first place, and he runs constant fucking 24-hour streams and some shit. He was bitching about how basically he's not getting enough money, he doesn't feel like, or something. And
was it that guy?
He painted a target on his back as a fucking retard.
I mean,
And I mean, I don't know what happened in the background. Honestly, I wasn't paying that much attention to that situation.
Okay, well, I don't know, like, as far as like Alex goes, I don't know the details of that case, so I'm not going to comment on it. I do remember some of Alex, like, if it's a guy that I think I remember it was, some of his points were whiny, but like, depending on what Zoom did in retaliation, I don't think.
I don't even know if it was. I don't even know if it's retaliation. I don't think it's a retaliatory.
No, that's the thing.
I think it's just like, look, oh my god,
but
here's an idiot.
No. But that's the thing. Zoom has acted in a retaliatory fashion. For example, given his love affair with Andy, probably because
the Ian Miles Chong shit. That was a retaliatory. But Ian Miles
Coach
Chong
Red
is
Pill,
a fucking complete piece of shit.
JF, and
Coach Red Pill is a scamming scumbag motherfucker.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. I agree. I called all these people out. The thing is, the reason why Zoom is doing it is because he's doing it for self-interest. He's not doing this because it's a superhero he likes to LARP as. And I don't think there is any.
That he is.
That's the thing.
Like I said, Zoom does what he does he does what he needs to do to accomplish his end goals, and it's to fuck with his target at the time.
Well, that's the thing. Like
he chooses his targets how he wants, but his targets, in my opinion, have been fucking deserving of.
I don't buy that mentality. I don't buy the mentality that just because these are evil and bad people, they deserve whatever, and that means that we have the right to basically go lynch them because they've done bad things. Like I can't agree with that. Sorry.
Well, let me see.
And yeah, I will say that for the record, yes, some of the stuff has been beneficial, but I don't operate that way. Sorry, I can't just say that that's condonable just because there's a net benefit at the end of the day. That's not something.
I'm not saying it's condonable. I'm saying that these people have done something to elicit some sort of response. I mean, most of the time, the viewership is turning on that person, right?
I mean, that kind of underlines the whole self-interest thing because a lot of times people will only speak up about certain things because it's popular to do so. For example,
well, of course.
Yeah, for example,
let's say topical and fresh and entertaining.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why nobody's talking about, nobody's going after fucking Baked Alaska, even though he's trying to claw his way back into relevancy. Like, that's done for Tonka. Nobody fucking talked about Tonka for the longest time. Now, Andy has lowered himself into a position where he's going to apparently fight Tonka again.
Well,
like some sort of fucking.
I mean, like a slight correction there, but I don't want to use this to counter the point. But I know Toad McKinley's doing like a 3-part series on Tonka, so he's not.
I know. Well, he's been compiling that shit forever.
Yeah,
and he got so tired of it that he fucking stopped. Like, it's just too much.
Yeah, but to answer
he's still
that,
gonna do it because it's a good documentary and he has all of the fucking information.
No, but to answer the point about people who are irrelevant because they've been discredited, and rightfully so. Like Tonka deserves to be discredited. Baked Alaska absolutely deserves to be discredited, etc. I'm talking about when people are still relevant and big, and everyone shuts up because it's going to hurt my reputation, or it's not going to gain me anything, etc. So they'll keep their mouths shut. And some of these people who might hold these opinions might even work with the person, and he'll just grow bigger and bigger, and no one will say anything because.
Well, you're talking about Ralph specifically, right?
Ralph would be a good example, actually, yeah, because Ralph has been doing a lot of bullshit in the past, and I forget specific but I was more, but an even bigger example of this is Sargon, because Sargon was always shit. He didn't become shit like a lot of people portray him as. He was always someone who was a hack. He was a fraud from day one.
Yeah, but did Zoom go after Sargon?
Well, that's an interesting case because there's some good evidence that he sent a bomb threat out there, and not just talking about Ralph's word on that. in the case, but Zoom wasn't around during the period what I'm talking about. Like back when he was doing his gay ops shit with Gamergate, like pushing it to be elite ethics only, which I'm not getting into that autistic discussion because it's dead, it's irrelevant. We pointed out that the guy was a con man, and people and YouTubers, e-celebs, etc. They just defended him. They either said nothing or defended him because, oh well, it's okay that he ripped all those consumers off. It's okay that he changed the story like 4 different times about why he needed the money. That's all fine because he's Sargon. It's okay, and they would make all these excuses as to why Sargon's Kickstarter was okay. It got so bad that Sargon himself actually did a video questioning himself about whether or not Anita Sarkeesian was a con artist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't even want to think about it. Like,
I don't blame you. It gets into a lot of stupid.
I don't
shit.
even want to think about it. Sargon painted a target on himself when he came into the fucking blood sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Sargon painted a target on himself when he made a big fucking to-do, got on a stream with Ralph, and started talking about Gamergate 2.0.
Yeah,
like, that is some laughable shit that deserves to be fucking trolled and mocked and ridiculed to the ends of the fucking earth. Like, that, you deserve to get slapped around if you come on a stream and you say some stupid shit like that.
Don't disagree.
All right, so by that standard, if somebody finds a clip of you getting bullied by a tranny fucker to the point where you cried, some people can look at that as
if you want to find that funny or whatever. If you want to find that funny, go ahead.
Dude,
but
it's pretty funny. Come on, take yourself out of the situation. If somebody got bullied by a tranny fucker to the point where they cried in a voice channel that you were listening to, would you not laugh?
I mean, I probably laugh, but there's a difference between but would I go about taking something that was like that? Would I go about making sure that the person just gets their reputation ruined because of one fuck up like that? No.
Well, who's gone about trying to ruin your reputation?
Well, I already the aforementioned rapist
Ralph?
one, and also
Ralph
they
had motives. They had separate motives. Ralph did it because according to you were slapping him around in his own Discord, and he used it as basically a trump card.
Well, it failed in this case. You want the funny thing about that is, though? The funny thing about that is it wasn't like he said he was going to his wife Nora about it.
What? You cut out for a second.
Oh, the funny thing about that, he said his wife, quote unquote, Nora had a copy of it, and she was gonna send him the link. So that I found a bit funny. Yeah, a lot of people tend to give her a pass, but she's a piece of shit too, and I think the relationship's totally fake.
She married Ethan Ralph, dude.
Hell yeah, so, allegedly.
No, it's been found. There's a court record.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's a green card marriage. Probably. Maybe she's just that much of a piece of shit. I mean, I think that the ultimate crime that she could commit at this point is if she actually bears Ralph's children. That should get the gas. That would, I would say at that point, all Packy should deserve the gas chambers just for that. In Minecraft.
I mean, apparently she's getting blacked over in the UK, so.
I've heard rumors about that.
She if she bears a child, it'll be questionable as to whether or not it's Ralph's.
Sure.
At this point, is Ralph? I mean, has Ralph drunken himself into impotency?
It's possible. I mean, drunkenness is like his second biggest weakness. His biggest, of course, being his ego.
Oh man.
But anyway,
he's not
I think
done, he's not out of milk yet. That's for sure.
Yeah, but like I've said before, if people want to laugh at me at some dumb shit I've done in the past, I mean, I can't fault them for finding something dumb shit I've done funny. But
Yeah,
as
and
far
then
as
fucking with you to try to get you into a VC to fuck with you, and if you got somebody that you know has the potential of having a fucking meltdown, and you like having Spurgs in a VC and trying to trigger a meltdown. Like I told you the last time we spoke, there's this fucking dude that was convinced in a VC that he's in the Matrix, to the point where he went up to a police officer and was asking him how to get out of the Matrix, and he was fucking institutionalized for 2 weeks.
damn.
Like, that is some fucking hysterical shit. How is that a possibility? Like, that is some fucking hysterical shit. If you know that that person has the capability of doing that, why wouldn't you? I mean, we're on the internet. It's no hold barred, dude. Don't trust anybody. You're not friends with anybody on the internet that you're in a Discord server with. If you pull some goofy shit like that, you're going to be the first fucking target. Like, you're the fresh meat.
About the no friends thing, I think that like people have taken Jim's original statement about it and they twisted it to something that Jim didn't originally intend. Because, I mean, I don't know if I think this, actually, no, this clip has been saved somewhere. It's like, you can just YouTube it. What was it called?
No, dude, I don't think it's that.
No.
It all boils down to don't
to.
trust. It all boils down to don't trust people on the internet.
No, I agree with that.
And
I agree. You
your
should.
Friends
like,
in real life, you're friends with them because you can trust them to a point.
I mean, I think you're missing the point here. Like, okay, yeah, generally, yeah, you shouldn't trust people on the internet. But of course, everyone does have an amount of trust that they give to other people on the internet. That's just a fact. People do this. If that weren't the case, then leaks wouldn't happen or be a thing, and there wouldn't be people concerned about privacy. And I don't think they're all liars and all, like, you know, kvetching when they bring the issue up necessarily. A lot of them are, but not all of them. And when it comes to, like, and my point is, and the reason why I think that people have been taking this meme that's something that Jim, like, never said, at least not at first, about, like, never ever have internet friends. He said, I would not consider, like, he said that he would only count, like, very, very few people as his friends. Not that he would never have any friends. That would just be, like, the exception to the rule. Not that.
Well, I mean, there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
But the rule should be don't trust a single motherfucker on the internet, and don't trust that. And I mean, and what that boils down to is you don't have any real friends on the internet. Because, I mean, you've seen all of these fucking leaks.
Actually, I'll give you, yeah. Also, and I'll give you an example as to
Those
why.
were friends. Those were internet friends that backstabbed each other at the first fucking, at their first convenience.
Yeah. Also, a good example of, like, why you shouldn't consider, like, randos your friends. Just look at Worski.
I was literally about to say that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, he trusts people.
Just look at Worski. He trusts people. He gives them information that he shouldn't be giving anybody on the internet, and they fuck him right in the ass.
Yep.
Or he fucks them, and they say, fuck you, I've got this shit, dummy, and they release it.
Yep. He is stupid. He is really, really dumb.
Yes. And that is a perfect example of why you should not fucking trust people on the internet.
Yeah, I would agree. Don't trust people on the internet unless, well, you know what, just don't trust them. You know what, you're right the first time. Don't trust people on the internet. It's better just to emphasize that than to go into exceptions or minutia.
Yes. I mean,
I've told another number of people, like, you shouldn't be putting, like basic shit that I take as for granted that, I mean, I tell them basic shit, like, hey, if you don't want to be doxxed, don't put your name out there. And that shouldn't be something I have to tell people, but apparently not. I'm diverging. Anyway, is there any more things you want to talk about? Because I think this segment has gone on for way longer than I ever intended.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Okay.
But do you see where I'm coming from a little bit more now? Do you see why I don't understand this, like, oh, Plate Gang, you guys are running ops together?
I mean,
does it make a little bit more sense to you?
It makes, like, your perspective makes what your perspective that you're presenting makes a little bit more sense, yeah. But I know the Plate Gang runs ops, And I know that the people that were basically saying, "Oh, well, we're just posting this for lulz, guys." Yeah, but
All right, so here's what. At one point in time, people in Spite Club server were covering shit up for Ralph to have access to his paid for Discord server without paying Ralph money.
well, there was that, and that's one reason that we know of.
I think that's the main thing, right? That's the main.
That's what we know of. If there's other reasons,
basically trading favors issue that you've got, ops issue that you have with what plate is or was.
Well, firstly, they're still a thing. I don't think they've disbanded. They're still a group. They're still doing shit, and they do lie about the exact number of their members and who's involved with it. Those are all facts.
You don't get like a fucking badge. Like, I don't understand. I think it was a fucking meme to begin with.
No, I mean, like, if it was a meme, well, actually, yes, you're correct about that part. From my understanding, it was a meme, but they turned it into an actual group. So, like, you can't say it's not a group.
And then it was like, this group of people are fucking got access to this fucking paid for Discord server to fuck with Spurgs. And then they're like, yeah, we're plate gang. It's a meme. Like, as a fucking joke. It's just a group of people that got the same enjoyment for doing the same shit. And me having the enjoyment for doing the same shit does not make me part of that group. It's what's happening there. I find it entertaining. A lot of other people do. I mean, everybody likes to see a fucking Spurg fight. Everybody likes to see somebody fucking break down over people talking on the fucking internet. Like, it's pretty funny. That's why Bloodsports was so popular.
Well, it wore out after a while.
Yeah. But that's why it was so popular. And when you get names in there, it makes it even funnier. Because these idiots go in there with something to lose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another funny thing about that. I mean, I think, like, one of the things I've said on the show a lot has been that never make yourself the center of this shit, because once you do that, instead of just you pretty much.
That's why all of these shows have failed.
Yeah, mostly
because they can't fucking just host it. They can't just fucking host it. That's why that's Tonka's fuck up. He could not just sit by on the side and collect the fucking money.
Well, that was one of his fuck ups, but it is a common.
Well, that's the main one. His ego was just too much. If he would have fucking just did what he was doing and, shut the fuck up and just hosted a battleground. I mean, it started to run dry, but like, you can find other shit to fill the time with and then get fights in there. Like, that's what Ralph's show took that over. There wasn't Bloodsports on that show all the time, but the drama shit is fucking popular, dude. It's like a soap opera.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I keep on coming back for more. There's always new fucking
That's why I'm fucking here. It's funny. I don't watch TV. I watch idiots on the internet ruin themselves. Like, it's fucking hysterical and it's unbelievable to a degree.
Okay.
But they do it. People do it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I think
we're almost hitting the 3-hour mark. This might be the longest show I've had as a result. And this was supposed to be shorter than normal. So I think we're going to end the conversation here. Just a couple things. Carl walked into a trap with Anita at VidCon 2017. This is true, but I also think he's walked into a trap on other occasions as well. And just another says, why is the rewind off? I have it off because like, the whole thing will be uploaded. I don't do the stupid Tonka Saw shit where I just try to hide everything that ever happened before. In fact, you can find all of my old videos on here. Some of them are put in the background, but you can still find them on the channel. It's because of the bandwidth thing. So I might just enable it for the next one. All right. So that being said, let's see. Just
Well,
I'll hit one more.
I just to let you know, I came in here just to talk with you. I didn't want to fucking make fun of you and mock you. I hope you feel like I have. I was trying to fucking understand your perspective on a trolling discords, people fucking. I don't even know what the fuck to call it. What you call plate gang, I guess.
Well, we'll have to. Well,
I get what you're saying. I hope you understand what I was saying. I hope you feel like I was courteous, as I try to be.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, like, honestly, if you want to come in here try to fuck with me, I mean, like, I can't tell people not to do that. That would just be dumb. So, I mean, I was prepared for, like, honestly, I don't really care if people want to fuck. Like, at this point, like,
well, I mean, I wouldn't get what I wanted
out
of it. I wouldn't get what I wanted out of this conversation if I came in here and just made fun of you.
I mean, all right, so
because you could just kick me out. I was trying to understand a perspective, I guess, and understand why what I was saying was not being fucking absorbed or understood.
I understand. It's just that I don't trust people who are part of a group that, like, one of the tactics of these types of groups is to deny the group's existence itself, or just to, like, try to
see,
create
like, that baffles. What fucking what?
Artists
why would
will do this.
Why would...
Like, I'm not making this up. I've seen it happen multiple times where people who are clearly part of a group that are doing things together in a group fashion and give a name for it will then suddenly say, oh, no, X isn't like Bob. I know that Bob likes to come to our meetings to, like, I don't know. I know Bob likes to come to our meetings to rob the bank, but he's not part of the gang, all right? He might actually drive in the car, and he might wave our flags and banner, and he may shout our cry or whatever when we go ahead and rob the bank, but he's not part of the gang. He's not one of the crew. Like, you're just seeing things. You're confused. You're confused there, okay? Okay, buddy? So.
All right. Well, yeah. From that, because that absolutely does happen.
Yeah.
And I could see how that would make the shit that I'm saying somewhat unbelievable.
Something like that.
Not unbelievable in the sense of, like, whoa, it's incredible. Like, unbelievable as you don't trust what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I have, like, that's the thing. And like you said, don't trust people. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, I'm just going to wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah. See ya.
I'll catch you later. See ya.
All right. So with that out of the way, that's it for tonight. Conversation. Last call was really a lot longer than I thought it would be. But in any event, I think things went well. And next episode, let's see, what am I going to be talking about? A lot of stuff. I don't know. Andy? All right. It'll be Andy next time. I don't know on what, but Andy's always up to something, and he's always a fun character to talk about. So next episode, we'll talk about Andy Worski. And in the meantime, if I said anything that was incorrect, if I said anything that was mistaken about, just let me know either in the server. You can @ me on Twitter at JMKACC, or you can leave a comment in the description. Or if you just think that I was, not critical enough in some area or whatever, or if you think that something changes certain facts in the case, send it my way, and I'll update the story next time on the next show. All right. In the meantime, hope you all have a good night. Hope you all enjoy your Easters, and have a good one.